Hey, what's going on, guys? Zach here with Triple Take Podcast. Today, we have 28 years later. We've got 3 spicy new trailers, and we're talking hot takes. Stick around, check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Triple Take Podcast. I am your host, Jacob. With me, as always, is Lance and Zach. Boys, did you know that Disney is falling apart right now?
Yeah, I heard rumblings about that.
There was an earthquake, and Rey, all of the plans for the Rey movie,
They fall in?
erupted in flames. Oh no, I'm so disappointed about it. Lance is not wearing his headphones, so I don't know. He might not even be able to hear us.
I was going in blind.
That was crazy.
I'm good now.
I mean, deaf.
Yeah, I guess technically deaf.
So anyways, media literacy.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know shit.
So over the last 4 or 5 years, there's been rumblings about a all Rey, another trilogy of hers.
I'll give you 1 or 2 years.
Okay, I'll go. Give me 3.
It was announced 2 years at D23.
2 years?
2
Okay,
years at
sorry.
D23.
Anyways, with how bad they are at making movies right now, it feels like 5 years.
Yeah,
Anyways,
true.
I'm just so excited that they're not going to make a Rey Star Wars trilogy, another one, because the last one didn't work at all.
Honestly, I was kind of being facetious about it, but I don't think it would have been bad. I think it ultimately depends on who was directing.
I guess let me rephrase this. If they got a little bit of writing and they could figure that out, then maybe it would sound
the
okay.
best part of the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, was her character. I think that they just did a lot of dumb shit with her. Like I liked her character, like kind of isolated.
I mean, at this point, we really shouldn't be celebrating a cancellation of a Star Wars movie at all, right? They have one Star Wars movie that's going to come out in the last 7 years, and that is essentially season 3.5 of a okay Disney Plus show, right? Like, we don't have any.
Wait. You're calling Andor okay, but
No, I'm saying movie.
Oh, a movie.
So I'm
okay.
talking Mandalorian.
You're talking
Grogu. Mandalorian and Grogu is the only movie that we're going to have come out in the last 7 years.
I would rather them take another 10 years and really think this thing through before they release anything else. I'd rather wait 10 years.
Well, they're going all in. Paired with this news was that they were going just the new Ryan Gosling movie.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian Grogu.
Well, they said James Mangold. They're still focusing on his movie as well.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm confusing that one.
How long of a stretch was it between Revenge of the Sith and the
10 years.
Was it 10 years?
2005 and then 2015.
The amount of hype that they
had.
Wait,
was it 2015? Yeah, it would have been 2015.
I think they need to do it again. Just with the amount of hype that they had for that trailer, it broke records. I mean, it was just a teaser, like little 30-second trailer.
The difference though between those is that we only had Clone Wars and like Rebels between those two.
Yeah. And
Actually,
now we just got too much stuff, and they're just not doing a very good job of writing anything.
It kind of feels like they're
except for Andor and Rogue One. I mean, I don't really know.
They're just kind of aimless right now. Feels like they're just drifting, which I don't know.
Although I guess I don't know, the Han Solo movie I thought was good.
Honestly, I think they should make a second one. I think Alden Ehrenreich was great.
But I think if they want to rebuild that that hype train, get that thing going again, they just got to take their time and wait.
Yeah, it kind of sucks for Daisy Ridley though, because she has not gotten any notable acting jobs since.
I almost don't feel bad.
I think she's a great actress, and I think that she just has a terrible agent at this point, I'm sure.
I just don't feel bad because I feel like at some point she probably had a little bit to do with the way that the script was written. I mean, she's like, oh.
That's a reach? What do you think an actress has anything to do?
She's like, oh, I think my character would do this. So they wrote
absolutely
think so?
No.
Okay.
No, I do not agree with that.
Wholeheartedly.
Especially because I think the main issue is I could see that, right? If it was one director all the way through, and it seems like her character took a different path, but with 3 different directors, I think they weren't on the same page more than her not being.
No, I agree.
Agreeing with the way her character was written.
Yeah, so we're not going to see her anytime soon. Wouldn't be surprised if they pick it back up, but I'm not necessarily disappointed. We got some other interesting cameos coming up in the new Superman reboot. Bradley Cooper? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper and Palm Clement? Clementif?
The
Thanks,
girl
Paul.
with the head
and
and Guardians
and
with
shocking
the eyes out of her head.
shocking Michael Rooker. Oh,
Yeah,
Mantis.
Three Guardians.
Yeah,
Three-
okay.
there,
I gotcha.
bringing in the Guardians.
Gotcha. How nice of him. It's pretty well established at this point that he just loves working with the same people over and over again. Which honestly, why wouldn't you just work with your friends? Yeah. So that's not. I think I'd be more surprised if he didn't cameo in it.
Yeah, I mean, just a nice little note.
Good for him. I'm pretty amped about the Superman movie now. Since we did the, I think we owe it to him to kind of apologize for the numbers that we were throwing out when we ranked the tentpole movies last week. We did a terrible job at Jurassic World. I think Jurassic World at this point is going to make $1 billion.
I think it probably does.
What?
The last 3 have all made over $900 million.
No shit, really?
Shit, really?
Shit, really?
And just so you know, after these come out, we're going to go back and get the receipts, and I think I'm going to go 3 for 3. I think I'm going to win all 3.
No
so.
shot.
You might. You probably will.
No shot. I've got it.
I know movies,
I have
dude.
it wrapped up. 330 million.
Movies and ball, those are mine. So
28 years later, made over $30 million domestically and $60 million worldwide on a rumored $60 million budget. That's a massive dub for them.
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but I really enjoyed it. Seeing how successful this probably should be towards. I mean, it has all summer to keep making money, and then the next one comes out in December. I mean, they might just start production up again here pretty soon. Get that third one out maybe next winter.
Honestly,
How nice would that be? All
that
3
would be
of the whole
sick.
trilogy just
Did you know they
in
made-
a year and a half.
They made 28 Days Later for $8 million.
I knew that. I knew it was like,
It was nothing.
yeah, rock
8 million?
bottom.
They like talked some police like into like blocking off traffic so they could film some of those like big wide shots. They had like 2 minutes to film and they were just like in and out. The one of the scenes where like the bus is tipped over, they just like literally went and found a bus and tipped it over, did the shot and then tipped it back over. I'm not kidding.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Very run and gun, low budge.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them. And honestly, what an insane investment that has been. Wait, who's the director? I can't think of his name.
Danny something? Danny Boyle.
Yeah. Did he do all 3?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yep.
Well, good for him. He's killing it right now.
He's with somebody too, right? He's not technically the director, but they're like partners in these movies. We should probably give him.
Oh, Alex Garland.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, what did he do? That sounds really familiar.
I think Alex Garland was the one that was
he did
really into Resident Evil.
He did Warfare recently. That's what it was.
Gotcha. But yeah, they're like in tandem on these
Oh,
movies.
and
so.
Ex Machina. Holy cow. Dude, he's got quite the run.
Yeah, so Alex Garland, I mean, just to give you a little bit of a backstory on this, because I think I'm the only one that watched anything about the movies that you guys watched. So Alex
Wait,
Garland.
but we watched the movie.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
didn't
okay,
watch.
I have the
movie.
fun. I have the fun facts though.
Didn't even watch the movie
So
of the week.
do you know how he came up with the idea of the rage zombies?
I don't.
So he played
French
through
people.
Resident Evil like 7 or 8 times or something crazy, right? And he's like, the zombies weren't that scary because you could just kind of briskly walk away from them because they're not that fast. But he said the dogs were terrifying. And so the dogs were the ones that were like jumping through windows and like running after him. He's like, what if you had a zombie that was like that? And so technically they're not even really zombies in the film. They're just like super infected with the rage virus thing. But he got the idea from the dogs in Resident Evil.
They do call them zombies in the movie though. So I
They-
think we
they
can
do, but
officially
they're not
call
in-
it a zombie.
Well, in
movie
this
now.
one, I believe it was the first
First
time
time,
in the
yeah.
in the series.
But they're not technically dead.
No,
Mm-mm.
but
And also they drop a lot faster. Like typically you have to decapitate or, something like that. Cut the head off.
We'll get into it later. Last thing about Alex Garland, dude had honestly on quite an insane run right now. He directed Ex Machina, Annihilation. I've never seen this one, Men. It looks like an A24 film in 2022. He did Civil War a couple years ago, and then he also did Warfare. So he's really locked in with the A24 people, and pretty much.
Civil
He's
War was
killing it.
really good.
I didn't.
I really
watch-
like that.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard it was pretty.
I've
good.
never seen
Really
Civil War. I
enjoyed
heard
that.
it was really loud. That's like the one piece of things that I've got off that.
I mean, there's a lot of gunfire, so
Very
like, you're not
loud.
gonna have that and be quiet.
Ex
so.
Machina was phenomenal.
Turn
though.
down the volume.
Turn down for what?
Yeah, Elio, the Disney Pixar movie, did freaking bad. It is bombing left and right.
Yikes.
It's bombing as bad as like you possibly could.
I feel bad because I haven't seen the movie yet, but from everything it sounds like I think I would enjoy it as a kid, and I think I'd even probably enjoy it now more than some of the other Pixar movies.
I think that Pixar
Like all
right
of
now,
the Cars movies.
No, I totally agree.
So like I don't think they marketed it well. I mean that has to be it because there's tons of space for kids in the summer for kids movies.
My take is that Pixar at this point are victims of their own success. I think right now they're riding high on the fact that it's Pixar, and they think that the name is going to by itself draw audiences to the theaters, and it's just not really working. The last one didn't do that great either, right? Onward did kind of crappy. That wasn't the last one. But
Onward was during COVID, so that's not. I wouldn't really.
Not a great example,
Yeah.
but I think that
I think that was day and date on Disney Plus. I don't even know if that actually went to theaters. It probably did, but it was the same day released.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, regardless, Elio.
I do think
Poor
that
guy.
there's a chance it'll last a while. I mean, it's got a 91% on the popcorn meter on Rotten Tomatoes, and the tomato meter is 84%. So, I mean, it's a good movie. It's just people need to, like, I guess, hear that. And we don't have any kids' movies coming up. So, I think it'll kind of ride a wave.
It's got legs. You think it's got
stick
legs?
around like 15, 20 million for a few weeks.
Could
It
be.
probably won't make his money back, but it won't be as bad as it started out.
Nice. Okay. A couple trailers this week. 3 of them actually. We got Springsteen movie, the biopic, "Deliver Me from Nowhere," name of a song, I believe. And Jeremy Allen White plays the boss, and indistinguishable. His voice is indistinguishable from.
Do you think that's real?
No. Yes.
It is real.
In multiple interviews, they were like, "That's him.
Really?
That's Cuz. That's Chef."
It's good to see Mark Maron back in something. I mean, he got something back in Stick, and then now this, I guess. But he was kind of like blacklisted for a second there, wasn't he?
Now he's he was in Glow too. Lance and I both really like that.
I do. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
And Jeremy Strong.
The first season and a half after that,
I don't
kind
like
of fell off it.
biopics aren't my thing. I don't think. Like I'll watch them, and if they're good, they're good. But I'm not like going after those. I'm not collecting them like the Infinity Stones.
And I don't even know is Bruce Springsteen even that it's not like he's done anything crazy. Like it's not like we're gonna see a
No,
Michael
I
Jackson
think-
biopic or anything. Like the Michael Jackson one's gonna be interesting, with all the
You know what I
stuff
would
about
like to see?
kids and all
I'd
the stuff
like to
about
see-
changing.
A Michael Jackson Bionicle.
The action figure?
Yeah. The Lego.
No, I've heard that Jeremy Strong is incredibly hard to work with, though, because he's a hardcore method actor. You hear that?
So he did a lot of ketamine then on Succession.
No. So, well, it's like in a whole bunch of interviews, it's like he would seclude himself from the rest of the staff, like the cast. Like he just wouldn't
Like at this point, when I hear method actor, I just
think asshole.
yeah, a-hole. Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy's just a dickhead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, whatever. I'll watch it probably. Cool cast. I mean, it's following his life, and it's kind of doing the normal biopic thing. It's like, my life was so hard. I came from nothing. Like that's okay, great, and it affected his music, I guess. I don't know. Just aside from, if Jeremy Allen White didn't sound so good in this trailer, I don't think people would really be talking about it.
These are the only musicals I enjoy. So I mean,
Can you even consider it a
I
musical?
wouldn't
It's
consider
just
it. I wouldn't consider it a
they're
musical.
just playing their own songs.
it's music.
bio-
It's music in a movie.
Biopics
musical.
to me at this point are just like really long greatest hits music videos.
Yeah, they're just cash grabs for people who are too old to get money anymore.
Yeah.
Essentially,
They can't go on a final tour, so they're like, we'll get someone else to play me and we'll cash in.
What did Rami Malek do a couple years ago?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. That was surprisingly really good.
A lot of people disagree with you.
Really?
A lot of people think it's a heaping, steaming pile of dog shit.
It was fine.
I thought
it was fine.
Well, so the funny thing about that is it almost felt like two movies because it felt like they were rushing to the end for a second there, and then you had another hour and a half left.
See, I think the problem that you have when you do a biopic with someone who is dead, you can embellish a lot and just straight up not tell the truth, and no one's gonna fact check you.
No.
Unless it's
Yeah.
an estate or something that manages, I think that the remaining living band members from Queen were heavily involved in that, and they
In the making of it?
yes, I think they produced it to a certain extent. They
No
were
shit.
either executive producers or I don't know. They had a lot of money in it though, and they made a lot of money off of the likeness of Freddie Mercury.
I mean, I don't know. Roast me, I guess, but I really enjoyed it.
I didn't think it was
Yeah.
bad. I don't know. Didn't he win an Oscar for that?
I think, I
I'm
don't know.
almost positive.
I don't know.
Anyway.
The ending performance of that movie was like spot on to a T of like what actually, like what, you know, what the video to that looked like. I mean, it was very well done.
Oh, Live Aid?
Yeah, Live Aid. Yeah, it was really good. Hey, Black Phone 2. Anyone give a shit?
Yeah, honestly, didn't see Black Phone 1.
Yeah.
I thought this trailer was really good. Like, I want to go back and watch
100%.
Black Phone 1 and be prepared for
I
this.
totally
Like,
agree. So when Lance and I went and saw the movie the weekend, like you, we watched this in theaters, and I was shaking in my seat.
For Black Phone 2,
It looks really creepy.
it looks like an asshole with an axe on skates.
I'm confused. He did skate around though. You're
Yeah,
not
he's
wrong.
like skating.
Is he like Elsa or like Frozone? Can he make ice? I don't understand. Is it just
again,
take
I've never
place in the
seen the
winter?
movie.
I've never seen the
so I
movie.
don't know.
It makes me feel like he attacks you in your dreams, which is just like,
I haven't seen the first one either, but it makes me want to go watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he'd be sitting
so-
outside.
Ethan Hawke. At
I'd
this
be
point-
watching the bottom of the screen. That's fine. It's not my thing.
Yes, that's how
I get
Yes,
terrified.
Sitting outside of the theater eating popcorn, listening to a
A podcast?
podcast while you wait for us to get done.
Yeah. Well, probably listen to our podcast, but yeah.
shitting his pants in the theater. At this point though, like, I think that it's perfect casting for a creepy, like, weird dude. Ethan Hawke kind of has become that. I thought he was really creepy. Like, I don't know, maybe unintentionally in what's the shit?
The vampire movie?
No, the Marvel movie or the Marvel TV show with Oscar Isaac. I'm losing it. Moon
Moon
Knight.
Knight.
Yeah,
Oh, Moon
because
Knight.
he was like the bad cult guy in that. The way he just talks kind of slow is creepy.
I thought he did a great job in Moon Knight.
He also just looks like he's sacrificed his mom for success.
He just
Give us a Moon Knight 2.
I'd be down for that.
wasn't he in. I mean, wasn't he the Footloose guy?
He's no, that's Kevin Bacon.
That's- okay.
He's in Training Day though.
He
with
does look
Denzel.
like Kevin Bacon, kind of.
a little bit. They both sound this like identical. I'll give you that. He's a good guy in Training Day.
Who else is in Black Phone 2? Let's look this shit up really quick here. All right.
I think for the most part, kind of unknowns.
It looks like some asshole with a mask. Doesn't look real. Let me see here. Rips his face off at some point. Mason Thames, Ethan Hawke. All I know Ethan Hawke from really is that one vampire movie, which is it before Sunlight or something, or before?
It's Mason Thames, and he is Hiccup in the new live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Also, very good movie.
Did you go see that?
Yeah,
I might see it this week.
It's pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't rewatch Jenny made me rewatch How to Train Your Dragon, the animated one, right before it.
Don't do that.
And no, it was almost the exact same.
Oh, okay. So okay,
So like, I didn't want to see the movie before I saw the movie,
Okay,
but that's
so-
essentially what it felt like.
gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
Daybreakers. Oh, he was in Sinister 1 and 2. So yeah, he's been in a whole bunch of like scary stuff. But there's a movie called Daybreakers. Have you guys seen Daybreakers?
Yeah, that's the vampires, right?
The vampire one where they're like vampires are taking over the earth and they're essentially milking humans for their blood.
Yeah, isn't Willem Dafoe in that? Yes, and
Yeah.
Sam Neill, which is like it was like Sam Neill's last like big movie.
I got to tell you, I really enjoyed that movie.
When was that?
It was in 2009.
Oh yeah, golly.
Ethan,
was
oh,
Ethan
sorry.
Hawke. Yeah.
You're one
Yeah,
of the
no,
few
he's
people-
also in. Did you guys talk about Leave the World Behind yet? That's a
Oh.
really good one. You guys should watch
Oh
that.
yeah.
Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. A little creepy, but not. It's not like horror-y. It's more like thriller-y.
Okay.
So
I might watch Daybreakers tonight, actually.
Good for you.
It's a good movie. And Lord of War.
Oh yeah, he plays the FBI or the
Yeah.
ATF guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Naked Gun. We also got a new trailer for that. I am really excited for it. I think it looks stupid.
I think
And
it looks
for that
horrible.
reason, I think it's like intentionally bad though.
No, I agree, but that's just not.
Well,
like,
that's the whole point of it. Is it's like
Slapstick.
it's so bad it's good.
Mhm.
But I hate those kind of movies. Like,
Oh.
like it feels like a
versus the normal slop. That
See,
you
here's
watch?
the thing: is I
Like
don't
a
think
Step Brothers or something. I just don't enjoy.
Oh, you don't like Step Brothers?
No, I just don't enjoy that kind of comedy, like that over, like right in your face. This is supposed to be funny, so laugh at it. It's just not for me.
So
Hear
you,
me
want-
out.
You want a laugh track to tell you when to laugh.
No, I want
huge
more.
Friends guy.
I want
Huge Friends
more like. I want funnier things. Like I don't want it to be like overhanded. I want me to have to like think it through, and I don't want it to be like
So that's not the first time you've made that
like
claim.
fart comedy
The
and
movies
things like that.
you
I don't
like
enjoy.
though do not lend to that idea.
What do you mean?
Like you just want to think.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Jojo Rabbit, which is
That makes you think. That's not a think that. Like plot wise, it doesn't make you think. Like I would say, like it makes you.
the comedy you have to
Oh,
think
okay.
is what I'm saying. Like it's not like a
You like
here's a fart.
You like
I-
sarcastic.
yeah,
comedy.
yeah, yeah. I need
Okay.
like
Yeah.
clever comedy. I don't
Okay.
want like the
Two things.
I'm a tiny baby who takes off his mask and I'm an adult male in a foofy diaper thing. Like that's not funny to me. I don't.
So you don't like Borat or like
No,
any of that?
don't
shit?
like
Okay,
Borat.
fair
No,
enough.
I thought Borat sucked. Anyways, I don't think Liam Neeson can pull off Leslie Nielsen. Like, you know what I mean? Leslie Nielsen was the Lieutenant
No, I
Frank
know. I don't
Drubin.
think that's like the connection at all.
No, I know, but
Their
I
names
know
just
the
kinda
names
sound
sound
the
the same. But like, is that a selling point for this? Is that it's Liam
Well,
Neeson?
like Leslie
I don't think
Nielsen-
Liam Neeson can do that like slapstick comedy like Leslie could do.
Like Leslie Nielsen though wasn't known for that until he did Airplane.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't think that Liam Neeson, the guy from Taken,
Like
I don't see him as being a comedy
no,
actor.
I know
know what I mean?
who you're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
saying though that like Leslie Nielsen though
Wasn't
was
known-
the same as Liam Neeson, and then
Yeah.
was in a comedy thing, and then kind of found his like I think
his niche.
I think we're putting the cart before the horse here, and I think that he's going to do really well, but we'll find out.
I just don't think he's got it in him to do a comedy. But also, Leslie Nielsen sure does sound like Liam Neeson.
There's got to be something there.
There's something there. But I just, like I said, you know what I mean?
I guess.
I mean, he's like the A-Team and Taken and like action guy. Fucking.
I
writing-
don't think anyone should be in this movie. So I just don't think it's a movie that needed to be made. I don't think it's gonna do very well. Like there's a reason there wasn't a Naked Gun 2 right after Naked Gun 1 was made. So
just didn't do well.
yeah,
Although
so
it's a cult classic now.
I get it, but I don't know. I don't think the humor that they had in the first movie will work well today.
There was a Naked Gun 2 in 1991.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I
It's
take
called
it back.
Naked
then.
Gun 2.5.
It's
I was
called
just-
Naked Gun 2.
I was just incorrect then, so I
I
apologize.
thought you were wrong, which happens often.
The
True.
smell of fear. And then
But
also
one thing, hold on. One
Go
thing
ahead.
I wasn't wrong.
there's
about
a lot of these, by the way.
is Milo and
Yeah.
Otis. They killed those animals. I don't care what any of you on
We're
TikTok
gonna
say.
get sued.
They killed those animals. I don't
Allegedly.
care if they come get us, Japan, whoever the director was. I mean, it's
You heard it here first, Japan. Come
Yeah,
and get
the
it.
entire
not all
nation
of
of
Japan.
Japan.
Not all of Japan, just the director.
Come and fucking get
whoever
it,
else.
Japan.
He did. He killed those animals. So,
Did just one guy?
well, the director's
Like,
one calling the
okay,
shots.
so my question is, do you think that, for those of you who don't know, last week we talked about, Lance just randomly gave us a little tidbit that a lot of animals died during the filming of The Adventures of Milo and Otis,
Yes.
which is a Japanese film that was English dubbed and released in the 90s. Which according to the TikTok comments, was beloved by millions of children, and still today.
I remember I watched it.
We were ruining a lot of people's days, I will say, with our clip. It's been like there's my problem with people defending it. It's like it wasn't proven. It wasn't not proven though. Like
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want? Like watch the movie.
You
They're
see-
clearly
You see kittens falling down a waterfall. They're not.
yo-
Sorry, buddy. They're not surviving. That probably took
Yeah.
6 shots. You see a pug fighting a real live black bear. Sorry, buddy. You're probably not surviving that. Like, come on. Get your heads out of the sand. Milo and Otis killed animals.
If there's one thing I know, it's that Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
boo that sucked.
No? Okay. Anyways, I'm pretty sure they could probably kill a pug, though.
You
Fair.
would think so.
Yeah, probably could take one out.
The other thing is I just like the even if they're not murdering the animals, like okay, like we give them that, right? Like They're still chucking kittens in rivers.
Yeah.
Like that is filmed. It's like it's documented, well documented. There's no way they're not like that's harming an animal. No, like what?
Yeah.
I mean, and what kind of proof are you looking for? You want dead bodies?
And I would like to apologize to the pug loving community. I made a joke last week that was insensitive to them, and then I should not have said that pugs were deserved. I did not say pugs deserve to die. I do not think that they did. So I apologize to the pug community.
They are hideous little beasts.
You did discount their lives significantly, but we'll let it go.
It's fine.
All right, movie of the week. I would love to ask Zach about it, but
I actually know a lot about this movie. I did watch a very large synopsis.
I am curious,
about this movie.
when we get into some heavy topic stuff, whether you can follow along or not, or how well you can fake follow.
Well, considering I've watched the other two begrudgingly, and I've watched large explain videos.
Like
about
it's
the
kind
other
of
two.
interesting that was it peer pressure that got you to see the second one? Okay.
Well, here's you want to know the story?
Yeah, please.
So, okay, for those of you that don't know, I'm terrified of zombie movies, and I didn't go and see this movie because I watched the synopsis video, the whole ending explained, all that stuff. I didn't go to sleep until 4 a.m. the night that I watched it because I was convinced there was a zombie in my living room.
No, you heard that correctly. For those of you who are
Horrified.
now backing this up 15 seconds to hear what he said again, he didn't even watch the movie. He watched a synopsis of the movie and couldn't sleep.
Yeah, because it showed pictures. Real scared of the zombies. It's like it's a big fear of mine, and it's a whole thing.
Everybody's got them, man.
But the other two, the first one I watched at a sleepover in high school or something, and like they put it on, and I was like, I can't show that I'm a big pussy, so I have to watch this. And then the second movie, I went to the movie theater with my buddies, and the options were like 28 weeks later or Shrek like 2 or something, whatever it was. And I was like, the other 5 kids were like, we heard really good things about this 28 weeks later thing. And I was like, I don't know, Shrek 2 looks awesome. We should totally see Shrek 2.
And everyone else is like, but we love Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. Anyways, long story short, horrified of the second movie, and I do not want to watch the third. The night of seeing, it was the last showing of the night, so when we got out, all the lights were off. That's not scary at all. And then we walked across the street, waited for someone's mom to come pick us up, and the gas station lights all went off, and I was like, well, okay, we're definitely going to die. And then that night, it thunderstormed really bad, and the power went out, and I woke up, and all the lights were out, and I moved my dresser in front of my bedroom door, and I sat there and waited to die.
I had a lot of faith in your dresser.
Horrified. Well, I just assumed.
You assumed they would come through the window, obviously.
Well, I want the second story. So
they can jump high.
They can't get through that window, but they definitely could, make it through my staircase. And so I thought if I just made sure I kept one door closed, I don't know. I'm getting scared just thinking about it.
So basically, Rage virus it's now 28 years after the original outbreak of the Rage virus.
Yeah. I enjoy the lore part of all this.
The lore is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So basically, this film takes place exclusively on an island off the coast of the UK and then slightly on the UK. Like, I would say within 10-mile radius of, like, pretty much everything.
Yeah, so the thing is, the virus itself is so fast-acting that it isolates extremely, like, you can contain it somewhat to, like, a country, but, so, like, America's not affected, Canada's not affected, South America's not affected, but it's only Europe, because that's, once you get bit, it's, like, 20 seconds.
Well, in this one, they've contained it everywhere, except for the UK and, like, surrounding little islands.
Yeah.
So initially we see, well, honestly, the thing that I was mostly surprised about that wasn't really alluded to in the trailers at all was who actually was the lead. The lead in this is Aaron Taylor Johnson's son named Spike, because Aaron Taylor Johnson kind of pisses off about halfway through the movie.
Yeah, well, Spike wanted to go off on his own.
Yes,
little asshole.
Yeah. Well, he's
trying to save his mom.
trying to save his mom, man.
Well, his dad's cheating on her. He's cheating on a lady with cancer.
Yeah, no,
you know how messed up that is?
I heard all about that. But also, the second movie kicks off because a guy is so devoted for his wife. So, you get a little yin and yang here.
No, he pisses off and leaves the wife.
Yeah.
No,
he abandons the wife.
You didn't watch the second movie, did you?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the beginning of the second movie. He leaves his two
his
children
wife
and his wife.
to die.
But
and then she doesn't die.
Yeah, because she's a carrier, but no, she's
but he left her at the
he
beginning.
straight
I
up
know.
leaves them.
But the whole point of the second movie is that they
Yeah, and then they bring her back.
They
and
bring her back.
but-
They find her because she's a carrier, but she's not infected. So the whole thing has to do with different people with different colored eyes.
right.
no, I know we've
Can
seen
be-
the movies.
But
Okay.
but originally he leaves her.
Did you see the second movie? 28.
Yeah.
Yeah,
weeks?
that's what we're talking about.
That's
Oh,
what, yeah.
okay.
Originally he leaves.
Wait, was
her
that
in
the movie of the week, or was it 28 years
No,
later?
28
28
years later.
was the
Oh,
movie.
okay.
Well,
All right.
we did our due diligence, but at the beginning of the beginning of the second movie, the guy straight up leaves his family.
Yeah, he runs away.
Pulls that Aaron
But-
Taylor Johnson of movie
Yeah, he
3.
did.
When young girl and young boy go off and start
No, I know,
exploring
and
their
the
own
mom
home,
is not dead.
Mom is not dead. She's just there.
Yeah, but you said
But anyways, the dad finds her in that room and kisses her, and that's how he gets the virus, and that's how it all starts off again.
yeah, the kid. Okay, yeah, but he doesn't love her.
He does.
He
He,
left her.
does love her, but
loves
he was
her.
Nah.
he abandoned her first.
Yeah, he
that's
abandoned-
where
look,
that's the point.
he's
we
a
were
piece
going
of
with
shit.
this.
He made a choice.
Yeah, he's garbage.
Split second decision. He had to get the fuck out of that house, and he boated away. But then he finally sees her, and he's like, "Oh my god, I love you so much. I'm so sorry for what I did." And then he kisses her, turns into an infected, and then pokes her eyes out with his thumbs.
Mhm.
That's his move.
That's
My-
crazy that you can still remember that.
Oh,
from all these years ago.
Well, he watched a couple of videos here recently.
I did, but
Oh,
also
okay.
I will never forget that scene.
What
Horrified.
my favorite part of the first one is when not Domhnall Gleeson, that's his son. I can't think of his first name. When the drop of blood
From
just
a crow,
freaking
yeah.
straight up smokes him in the eyeball.
Yep.
That's like I was
He's
like,
just, like, looking
oh
up.
no. They've had all of this character development and they love each other on their such this like
Yeah.
happenstance family and they're gonna ruin it.
He literally just apologized to his daughter about being an asshole. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I lost
Yeah.
my cool there." And then he turns into a zombie.
I'm sorry I've been an a-hole my whole life, and then boom, he's dead.
Yep.
But not really dead. That's what's a little bit confusing. Not even confusing, it's just more of an interesting point, I guess. Is like and kind of in the same vein as The Last of Us, the zombies aren't really dead.
No,
like, the
they're just
bodies are
infected
still
with the
like
rage
animated.
virus, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Pulling it back to
Yeah,
this
years
movie,
later.
I think so. Weeks and days later are two almost completely different tones, completely different feels.
Absolutely.
And I think, and some people like this, some people didn't. I really like this. And years later, it kind of felt like a mishmash of both. So there were parts that felt really like weeks later, parts that felt really like days later, and they kind of bounced back and forth between those.
Mhm.
I really like that because I think when you have just a bunch of scary horror all at once with no feeling and no heart, you kind of have it kind of loses its value. But if you have all heart and no zombie action, right, you're missing that like horror element of the movie that you have. So
Mhm.
I think it did a really good job of bouncing back and forth. So I was always kind of on the tip of my toes, like, oh, is this going to be a heartfelt like scene? Like, what are we seeing here? Or are we, birthing a zombie baby and then murdering the mother? So like there was these parts. It felt like two movies
yeah,
mashed
was the
together in
baby
the best
infected?
of ways. No.
It wasn't infected?
No.
Okay, interesting.
Well,
Well,
to continue-
not to our knowledge. It's still a baby. So I
To
guess we
continue
don't.
the synopsis, though, briefly, the little isolated island that Aaron Taylor Johnson, I don't even know what's his dad's name. I can't even remember his name. But
Jamie.
okay, yes, you're right. Jamie, his wife, and then Spike, they all live on this island that is only accessible by a causeway that is available to travel on whenever the tide is low.
It's a real island, by the way.
So twice a day they can go on this. They can go on and off. Actually, maybe no, once a day. I don't know how tides work. But part of this little community's like coming of age stuff is like when you're like 12 to 15,
You go off on your first hunt, yeah.
you go off on your first hunt and you go kill some rage infected people.
Yeah, it's kind of like Killer of Killers, right? You have to tag your first body, right?
Yeah, so they also have no guns. They're all bow and arrows,
Mhm.
which is awesome. I think that was quite cool. They're like they show a couple times like teaching the children on the island how to hunt with a bow.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that's their only form of like defense, that's pretty important that everyone knows how to use that. What I also thought was interesting though is like none of the arrows that they had had tips. I don't think. I think they were just like sharpened wood.
It's possible. I mean, they would need to have a blacksmith, and if
Well, no, like the arrows are. I was thinking more like shards, like stones and sharpened stuff like that.
I guess you could just
But interesting. So they go out on the hunt. they get stuck out there on the mainland. So the causeway is like flooding, I guess you could say, with the tide. They end up getting chased by an alpha. So basically, there's these like roided up versions of the rage monsters, right? Like they're like twice as big and way smarter than the rest of them.
I do have a theory about those. I don't know. Can I interject real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
It'll be real quick. I think that those rage monsters are the babies of the zombies. So I think that baby is going to turn into a rage like the alpha.
I thought that Rafe, we're skipping ahead of that, but I thought later the doctor said that the reason that they are crazy is because they got some other drugs to try and like fix them.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe I missed that part.
Well, it is interesting because in the third one they've brought in this idea of like the roly ones and then the idea of the alphas because in 28 weeks later the main dad guy, he is like what you would consider an alpha, right? Mm-hmm. And the rest of them were just blind rage. But the way I understand it is that like the alphas are bigger and meaner and stronger, and they actually contain like a piece of their humanity still, so like they can reason.
And that was my thought was right. We don't see any rage monsters in the first two, but you couldn't birth those zombie babies in that time frame, right? Like,
I mean, do they have like
28 weeks? You could have technically.
Well, but it would have still been a baby, is what you know.
Yeah.
It would have.
I see what you're saying. Like timeline wise, the development would be like
would match up.
Yeah.
So. That's just my theory. It could be totally
an interesting
wrong,
theory. I if it happens, I wouldn't mind it. That's a cool explanation.
I think it has to do with the like each person has their own like level of like. So you have some that are immune, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have two different color irises, then you're a carrier, but you can be infected, but you don't turn to rage or whatever. I think that there's a specific set of people that are going to become alphas based off of their own genetic code or however the virus interacts with their person.
So basically whenever Spike and Jamie get back, they're being chased by the rage monster. They kill the rage monster on the whatever with their big, huge, spiky.
Yeah, I saw the big flaming arrow
gun thing. Yeah, freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They're not trebuchet. What's the ballista? Is that what it is? The huge, massive, like Leonardo da Vinci gun.
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah,
it looks like they could kill a dragon. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it's a black arrow, dude, and they're going after Smaug. But yeah, so makes it back. They're throwing a party for Spike, right? And that's when Spike discovers that his dad is boinking the teacher.
Yep.
So they were getting down.
Not a good look.
Spike handles it really well.
You think he ran off to the
island?
No,
he kept it low. He kept the emotions low at first.
I mean, I guess
goes back and hangs out with his mom a little bit. Convinces himself that he's the only one who is good enough to save his mom's life. Because clearly at that point, Jamie just wants her to die. He doesn't care what happens to her. He may deep down love her and care for her, but dude's thinking with his dong at this point.
Yeah, but everybody knew she had like I think the dad's a piece of shit still. Sure,
I do agree with you though. I think Spike was the only one.
Everybody knew she was dying.
Yeah,
except for him.
Yeah,
if she had all the lumps on her breast and things, like obviously she had cancer, and that's just something that he's never dealt with before because they live on a tiny little island.
Sure,
right? So,
well, I think he's more focused on his kid, and he's trying to like. I mean, he's focused on survival. Right. So, and if he sees it as that's like a weak link, that's the way I would look at it.
Well, when they're out on the island or when they're out on the mainland, they see this fire out in the distance when they're like waiting out the alpha zombies in the roof of this shack that ends up collapsing. Yep. And that's what kicks off the race back to the causeway. He's like, we're not going to the fire. We never go to the fire. And then Spike's like obviously very interested in the fire now. It's like when you tell a kid you can't do something, the kid wants to do it more.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. So they end up going back, yada, yada, whatever. Spike's like, all right, Mom, I'm taking you to the doctor. He finds out is that guy his grandpa? The guy that lives with him, I believe it's his grandfather.
That's the mom's dad.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So he finds out that it's a doctor. He goes to the fire, ends up finding Ralph Fiennes' character. So in the trailers, they showed his character a couple times, like fighting the rage virus infected. I thought he was covered in blood. Turns out he's covered in iodine.
Yeah, it's an added layer of defense.
He apparently figured out that the virus doesn't like iodine.
Yeah.
Shocking. It's kind of like, not a lot likes iodine.
I didn't know if it would like just actually be the iodine or if it just like protects the body. Like if you have open cuts and wounds or something, and like you get blood in you.
It's like the alcohol.
Yeah, so if it can't mix with that, I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting, like little tidbit.
No, it was cool, but I feel like it's a good explanation to make him look kind of scary.
Yeah.
He just looks weird.
If not, I mean, if anything, the giant pyramid of skulls.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. In the trailers too, it makes it seem like it's very much a horror. Like all the skulls are scary and bad. Like,
yeah.
Lance, did you agree? Like, I think what we were expecting when we saw the skulls was like horror. This guy is killing all these people, especially mixed with what the dad was saying about him. Saying like that guy's crazy, he's lining up all these bodies when in fact he was honoring these people.
I almost felt like it was too, like they hyped him up to be so bad that I kind of assumed he was going to be good.
Yeah.
So
no, I would agree with that. But like the whole shrine to honor the dead that have died from the virus is really, it was like not like crying sad, but like
it's poetic.
Yes, poetic is good. It's heartwarming, I guess.
Yeah.
As heartwarming as a pile
it's just
of
wild that
he
that's his whole like life's mission now essentially is to
make,
like,
I mean, what else is he gonna do?
I guess that's true. Everyone pretty much. It's surprising to me he didn't try to go to that island. That's got to be a lonely life. It's been 28 years of him just living by himself.
At one point when he first meets up with Spike, he's like, I haven't seen anyone in however many years. I was waiting for this. I was like, why did you not seek anyone out then?
Yeah, like
I think there's a portion of me that like thinks that if this kind of thing kicks off, you're almost more safe by yourself than with a group of people.
Sure, you're more safe.
Like for a fact what you're going to be doing versus like in these movies, it's always like the real enemy are humans.
But right? It's no way to live though. Like that's not living. That's just surviving. Like if you have a chance to live, even if it ends with you dying faster, I think that's way more worth it than just surviving on your own.
Good way to put it, honestly. No, I totally agree. Yeah, because he even says to him, he's just lonely. Like he has no one else. He just has like these skulls and the remains of people. Interesting though that the next movie is called The Bone Temple. So like they name dropped that place that he's made.
So you think his is the Bone Temple?
Well,
I almost think there could be another one. There could be something different.
I think it doesn't have to do a lot with...
Because that's not really a temple. That's more of just...
He literally calls it the Bone Temple.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Then, okay.
It's going to be all focused around his little like shrine of heads, right? I have a question. This movie, does the kids watching Teletubbies, does that happen at the very beginning of this movie or the beginning of last movie?
This movie.
This one?
Yep.
It may happen in both, but we did see it in this one.
Okay, because young Jimmy is a little kid sitting there watching... Right, and Jimmy's kind of important going forward. I think he's going to be a big part of the next movie. It's like he's like a cult leader essentially now.
Yeah,
he's like a religious figure.
He's wearing jumpsuits. Honestly, I told Lance when we were leaving. I think it's the same
jumpsuit guy from the beginning.
I think it's the same
from the kid.
Well, the kid in the very back, like the little blonde-haired kid,
the Power Ranger
in the back.
Okay,
that was the connection that I made.
Jimmy is there.
I didn't make that connection.
And then. If you go further, like you start seeing Jimmy wrote on walls and stuff, like he's coming and shit.
Well, like his first outing, his first outing was written on that zombie. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like it said Jimmy on it, and they hung him upside down.
Wow. And the guy at the end was named Jimmy.
And the guy at the end was named.
Wow,
Jimmy.
the Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Jimmy is going to take a big part of this next movie.
Interesting.
I believe he's some kind of cult leader.
Everyone's saying like Power Rangers. I was getting huge. Kick-ass vibes.
Well, I think it was just the different colored suits.
I
That's
totally
why
agree.
I see
and the way they were jumping around too. But like, I mean, I don't mean to like, the connection would be Aaron Taylor Johnson is kick-ass, but he like, I was getting the same kind of.
I just felt
jumping around crazy vibes.
I didn't mind it, but I almost felt like that would have went better as like a.
Like an end credit scene?
End credit, but you could have like a 5-minute and like still have the exact same scene, but put it smack in the middle of the credits.
Yeah,
because it felt like it was on its own.
Well,
you know what I mean?
So I think you do. I think it's
this kid.
It's doing exactly what they're. I think they're accomplishing exactly what they're setting out to. We've just created.
That's Jimmy.
This discourse.
No, I agree, but like I don't know.
It makes me incredibly interested in the next one. Like I think if they would have ended it right there, it would. I obviously I would like to see the follow up of like Spike, like because basically his mom assisted suicides. Like she I think she like ODs essentially, right? Because she gives him, or because Rafe's character the doctor gives her
I thought
medication.
he just shot her or something.
Yeah, but like with the with the blow dart that had like poison on it or something.
Okay.
I think I thought it was just like the same stuff that they gave the monsters or whatever, or the zombies. I don't know, but no, like I was saying though, I think regardless, I would have been interested to see Spike's story carry on. But now
the doctor
I'm extra.
You see, I'm almost the opposite way. I liked the movie completely on its own. Would have been fine with it. I felt like it was such a big change and doesn't feel like the same that I'm almost like I'm still gonna watch it and I'm still super interested, but I'm slightly less interested just because it doesn't feel like it matches up with the rest of it.
Do you feel like that scene almost discredits the whole rest of the movie?
It just was such a tonal shift.
What, the mom?
After such an emotional,
excellent way to put it. Yeah, it was a massive tonal shift.
And I just feel like,
I mean, like
I think if you're gonna put that tonal shift, just throw it in the middle. End credit scenes can feel completely different, and that doesn't take away from the movie for me. And it didn't necessarily. I don't think it's a horrible movie just because of that or whatever. But it felt like such a weird choice. Like it's fine. Like I'm still gonna watch the movie. I still thought the last one was great, but like I don't know. It just
was he talking in third
like
person
it could have been
too?
Put in a better spot.
I think also just like I would have been okay with a group coming in, but it was just because it was so visually.
It felt too
different.
cartoony.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Yep. So that's just. But overall, I thought the movie was great. I teared up a couple of times. I had some
pussy.
I was never really scared. Zombie movies don't really put fear into me or anything, but
this guy.
It was cool. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna watch the next one in January. It's crazy that we've only got 6 months to watch the next one.
Truly cool.
The next movie comes out in January?
Yeah.
No shit.
Already filmed and done.
I heard that it's there's like a whole 28 saga now coming out.
Well, it's 3 here.
There's 3.
They announced 3.
Kind of its own trilogy.
So this is the start to its. Is this the first of the 3 or is this? It is okay.
Correct.
And there's a rumor.
There's a 28 verse coming out apparently.
Yeah, there's a rumor that if they all do well, they're gonna go back and they're gonna do 28 months later, after 28 weeks.
Well, I know
28 days, weeks, and then months as like the end of that trilogy.
Okay, I'm curious now what you think because we've all seen them. I'll count you as a watch at this point because you've watched so many breakdown videos. Do you think that the way, like, if the assumption is that end scene sets up the next one, how do you work in Cillian Murphy without it kind of being like laughable? You know what I mean? Like it's so unserious. Like you take a standalone beyond that, totally exclude that scene. The movie 28 Years is it's such a serious topic and it hits so many different like coming of age, this young kid dealing with death for the first time and someone so close to him even, and then the betrayal of his dad and the cheating stuff, like all these really heavy, emotion topics. But then at the end, you get this freaking Teletubby freaking jumping around Power Ranger thing. No,
do you want my theory?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, tinfoil hat. Put it on.
It's just under your regular hat?
Yeah, exactly. So what I think is going to happen is we're not going to see all of those guys the whole time. They're not the cult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to be the main cult of the film. They're culty,
sure,
right? But I think we'll get 1 or 2 of them that's going to join up with Rafe, the kid, possibly the dad, and they're going to go out. They're going to have some kind of mission, something they need to do deeper inland, and they're going to find Cillian Murphy and his cult. And they're going to be a legit cult. And I almost think like the Bone Temple that we see with Ray Fiennes isn't the Bone Temple or isn't the like culty temple part that they're actually referring to. I think we're going to go deeper inland and it'll be like, oh, there's all these people that they killed and it won't necessarily be a bone temple, but it'll be, that's what they'll refer to it as because there'll be bones everywhere in their like hideout or whatever, to display. So I think Cillian Murphy will be the big guy.
I think it's kind of interesting because still the rest of the world's not affected by this thing, right? So you still you've got America not affected. And I mean, the rest of the world, like I said, it just goes so fast. I mean, you can't get on a plane or the plane will just crash, for instance, if it's going to make its way to our shores. But I think in the first movie, you see Cillian Murphy, his character goes through a complete shift from he's in a coma and wandering, and then finds a little, group of survivors. And he's the first survivor they found in 6 days, something like that. And they finally make their way to like a military encampment. And then like the guys at the military encampment are going to have their like way with the young ladies that are with them. And like he kills a bunch of people to the point of like, he's acting so crazy that the girl that's with him thinks that he's infected with the rage virus. So she almost goes to kill him. But I think that you're going to see, you've got Jimmy, which is going to be like some kind of a cult leader. And you've got, I can't think of his name now. Cillian Murphy, who's going to be like leading a faction. And I think you're going to have like faction wars coming in the next movies. I think that's the way that they're going to have to go, because the rest of the world's saying, we're staying out of this one. I mean, we're patrolling, offshore to make sure nothing leaves.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Whatever happens on the island. We're just staying out of it.
I think that we're going to see kind of like almost like the Black Gate, or like guarding the wall style of like keeping them in. Because we got
I think we'll see that third.
Because
they're going to try to escape.
Well, and eventually,
right?
Okay, so like for instance,
like is that the point? Do you think that's their goal though? Like what's like for those who are surviving on the mainland? Like obviously, I don't even remember what their little encampment is called,
thing.
but
like they're not really.
They're clearly living. They're not just surviving. They're like they have a community. They're
they don't seem to be escaping.
Happily. And they've created like, I don't know, this just pretty specified way of life to like, they go out and kill them for sport. I think also we need to mention the weird, creepy, crawly ones. We haven't talked about those people at all.
You know what they remind me?
The Rollies or whatever they're called? Yeah.
Baron.
Oh, yeah.
Harkonnen from Dune.
No,
yeah, kind of.
They
especially
look
when
a
he's
lot
covered
like
in
him.
like the black stuff.
I got Augustus Gloop out of that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Honestly, he reminds me of a dude that works at the gas station
by
my house.
I think I think it's only a matter of time until you can like get the rest of the world involved here, because, for instance, it's been 28 years now, right? And and did they give any mention to the rest of the world being infected at all?
I want to clarify. It's only been 23 years technically if we're going straight off the when it first came out
of the first, but this is your 2030.
So now we're in the future.
It's 2030 in the.
Is it? Did they mention the?
I think so.
Date? I don't know.
They mentioned it would have been 28 years.
Okay,
so.
But
I just think
so. We saw the second movie got kicked back off again because you had one lady who was a carrier but wasn't actually. She's infected but wasn't rageful, right? So. What's to say that in another 28, whatever the hell, you get one person who's a carrier and then makes their way to America?
Do you think it's like a mutation thing too? Like this thing is just. Like,
I think the virus could easily mutate. I mean, we see that happening all the time. Every year there's a new flu. I mean,
here's the main reason I think they're gonna have to escape, or they're gonna have to at least work on something
change
about
location.
escape. Yeah, change location. If these three are successful, what are they gonna want to do? Make more. And there's
money.
And if you've already,
that's my problem.
How much?
Like that's my worry that they're gonna try and milk it for. I mean, we've talked about this before. The main goal of production companies and people making movies is to make money. Besides maybe like the director who's there to like put their art out into the world. Who is the producer on this? Do we know? Like what distribution company? Because I'm with you. I have a hard time believing they're not going to milk this for all it's worth.
Well, honestly, if there's still good movies, I have no problem with it, right?
Right.
Sony, TSG, Columbia.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only zombie really franchise other than like TV, The Walking Dead, but I mean.
Well, that was my distinction I wanted to make earlier. That was actually one of the few notes that I made is like this franchise is so refreshing in the sense that it's so isolated. They've contained it to these two spots essentially. Really just one with the we didn't know about this island until this movie. It's really cool that they've won the battle elsewhere, and like basically all the UK is like, or the rest of the world is like, get fucked. So sorry, you guys are all dead.
Well, to be fair, in the second one, the rest of the world was trying.
Well, they nuked Paris.
Yeah, they were trying to get things back together.
That's fair.
But at the end of the day, like, how many more all right, we have things settled. Let's repopulate, Great Britain. How many more times can we see that exact same thing happen in the movie? I mean, are they just going to keep doing the same thing?
I think I see where you're going with. Just
but there's like
the
stories
natural
you can do
course
without.
of action is like
Yeah.
But
we think we clear it all out, and then we go back in, and then it all starts up again. It's like, well, what's the next
honestly,
step?
big brain here. Like I mean, one of your discussion things later is you're going to talk about Avatar and how it's basically just Pocahontas in space or whatever.
Well, way to give it away.
I don't mean to give it away, but like the point I need it for the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
This movie is just Jurassic Park but with people. Like they've got all these bad things on an island. It's all gone to shit.
Man, could you imagine
military's
putting
kind
up
of
a
going
zoo
back? Yeah.
for zombies?
Okay, I guess
That would
Jurassic
be crazy.
Jurassic Park 2 and Jurassic World Rebirth, I guess, is more likely.
Yeah.
I need to be a little more specific, but I mean, it's the same. They just like, this problem's over here. We're not going to deal with it. We're just going to contain it.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm excited
for those who haven't watched it, please do. It's a great movie. We want to see the rest of them. Go support it. Go spend your money. Go buy a shit ton of popcorn. Go buy the Galactus. I was gonna say something disgusting. Go buy a themed popcorn bucket. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
I was gonna say the Galactusy, but
The Galactusy.
the Galactusy
Okay,
popcorn.
Yeah.
So our main topic of discussion today, brought to you by yours truly. I feel like I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've been cooking lately. Okay.
Yes, brought to us by L.
So here's what we've got. Okay. I want your 3 hottest takes, and they shared with each other. I'm going in blind, and they're going in blind to mine. So your 3 hottest takes that you've got, not necessarily hottest, but 3 hot movie takes that you've got.
All right, so
And I have an honorable mention as
it's
well.
It's at this point, for those listening to the full length podcast, this is not news that we clip this. Well, I'm gonna have to ask you to re-intro this, that way we can clip it better.
Okay, yeah. So today we're talking about all of our hot takes. Okay, so we're each gonna have 3 big hot takes that we're gonna reveal to each other. I personally also have an honorable mention, so let's get into it.
Let it rip. Lance, go ahead, lead us off.
I'll just start with my honorable mention.
Okay.
So honorable mention. Okay, this is the movie world in general. Okay, by 2050, we will be getting less than 52 movies a year in theaters. So we'll get less than a movie a week in theaters because they simply won't make money.
That's more of a hot prediction than a hot take.
Yes, that's why it's an honorable mention.
Fair enough.
Okay.
The rest of them are takes, but so that's my hot prediction.
I don't think you're like crazy wrong there. I gotta be honest. I see a lot more stuff coming to TV than I do going to theaters.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of those movies that we're seeing in theaters now, cut the budget in half and shove it to Apple TV or shove it to HBO or
Netflix
wherever
is
it goes.
buying.
So
Thanks,
as
Ted.
sad as that
Thanks,
is,
Ted.
Yeah.
I think that we are watching the movie industry crumble beneath us. We'll still get
Totally agree.
the tentpole movies, of course, right? And maybe a few movies that they think may do well, but by 2050, we're not seeing those big risks.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. It's they're gonna go the safe route. They're gonna go the guaranteed money route. Like they're gonna take people will take risks. I kind of to play off of that. I think my prediction would be that it's gonna be almost like a slingshot effect. We're gonna get all this slop and garbage that people I think are gonna become kind of disinterested or uninterested in. And then I think that there'll be this is the slingshot part. I think they're going to go way back where they're going to go low budget stuff, more art house, more like story driven things rather than like these circus kind of playground sandbox movies.
Well, I mean, not to like go back to our discussion topic from earlier, but they made 28 Days Later with $8 million. I mean, you can make really compelling stories and movies with not a whole lot of a budget.
But you have to force people to go watch them, which is the big issue that I think people run into.
I think you can trip over $8 million if you release a movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll see.
Elio can.
Yeah. Elio can.
Give us, Zach, give us yours.
Okay, I'll go since you ruined one of mine, I'll give you that one. Avatar is just Pocahontas in space. It looks great, but they forgot to write a story.
I would go as far to say as it's Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Costner is Jake Sully.
Sure. Kevin Costner was great in that golf movie, Tin Cup, but he would be terrible, and he'd be better in Avatar than I could. Here's the thing about Avatar: it made $3 billion. I couldn't tell you, other than Zoe Saldana.
Mm-hmm.
I got nobody else. I have no idea who else is in that movie.
Well, that's because they're blue people.
I couldn't tell you.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know how to say his last name.
What's his? Do you know his character's name in the movie?
Couldn't tell you. But I do know that the rock they're after is called unobtainium. What is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
Honestly, though, until the sequel came out last year or 2 years ago, I didn't know I couldn't remember Jake Sully's name.
But after watching, have you watched the sequel?
No.
Zach? I thought the sequel was great.
Oh,
they took a different path.
Dude,
and I actually think the Avatar franchise as a whole is in a really, really, really good spot.
Way of Water for me
I think
is a top 3 sequel.
Yeah, it was great.
I don't know.
That should be my hot take. Way of Water, top 3 sequel.
I just couldn't care less. I didn't like Avatar when it came out. I don't care that James Cameron took 20 years to whatever to fucking write this.
Dude, he's just James Cameron is just so good about making me feel something for like a nonsensical, like like Terminator. I feel for the kid. These random freaking
Terminator. Yeah, it's different.
Well, I'm just saying, they
wrote an original story with Terminator.
You need to watch the second Avatar and come back to us.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
You need to watch it.
So I will. I agree with your point, but I think at the very they've made it their own at this point.
Second little weird thing here. I think they went being one with nature too far to the point of the blue people were just fucking those flying animals
and the trees, dude.
And the trees. It's just weird.
You need to watch the second one.
You really should.
It's just weird.
Go
home and watch it. It's on Disney. It's free.
I got other things to watch.
And there's a third one coming out soon.
I'm gonna.
This year, right?
Yeah, this year. December. Big tent pole number 4.
Fire and Ash.
Woo!
Can't even get that right.
The way that he feels about Jurassic Park is the way I feel about these movies.
I really like these two, actually.
Dude, right here.
These are pretty close to. They're not quite Jurassic Park.
They're so good. No,
all right.
Man,
anyways, Avatar, no good.
I disagree.
Don't care.
Do we have to say if we agree with these points?
No.
I think that'd be a fun thing at the end.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. For your first one though, I like it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was an honorable mention.
Ding.
But I'll take the thumbs up because I'm not getting them on the next 30
No, I think
seconds. I'll take them now.
It's great.
I'll take them while I can get them.
All right.
All right, my turn.
All right, dickhole, go for it.
Dickhole. All right, I'm gonna save my one that insults everyone for the end. My big one here: Iron Man is Marvel's biggest villain.
I don't even have to.
Yeah,
dude.
Start it up. Dude.
Ultron created a freaking killer robot that was main goal: take out humanity. He is solely responsible because of that for Sokovia, which spawned what's his name taking over? What I can't think of his name.
Ultron?
No, the guy guy that takes over Winter Soldier and kills his dad.
Oh, Baron Zemo?
Yes, he is. I mean, it all comes back to Tony, dude. He Ultron, then Sokovia, then Zemo, then he started Civil War. Basically, is the reason that Thanos is even moderately interested in Earth.
In what way?
In
what way?
He's the glue that holds these things together.
In what way?
Okay,
is the reason that Thanos is interested in Earth?
No, he's the smartest.
Don't skip over this.
He's the smartest person on Earth.
In what way?
He's the smartest person on Earth.
That doesn't have anything to do with Thanos' goals.
Thanos'
goals.
Thanos wanted to take out Tony because he's the only one he thought could stop him. No, man.
But Thanos wasn't. It wasn't Tony that he was after.
It's Tony's
when he
fault,
went there.
though. It's indirectly Tony's fault.
No, he had nothing to do with Thanos, and he had nothing to do with Loki.
No, Tony was pissing around with
the two biggest villains that we've seen so far. He had nothing to do with at all.
Tony was fucking around.
Was it Tony's fault?
Thor. Really quickly here. So technically, Red Skull used the Tesseract, and it was on Earth, and then Thanos wanted the Tesseract, the Soul Stone.
No, he wanted. Soul Stone was in the Scepter.
No. Yeah, but
Soul Stone was Soul Stone.
Sorry, not Soul
the
Stone.
Mind Stone.
It's the Mind Stone. But he wanted that shit because he was trying to make the gauntlet,
which had nothing to do with Tony.
Nah.
And Loki was here because of Thor. neither of the two biggest villains that we see in the Marvel Cinematic
all right,
Universe
fine.
had
Get
anything
rid of
to
my
do with
end.
Iron Man.
Get rid of my end. No, get rid of the end part of my theory then. Okay. Iron Man is Marvel's biggest villain. He created Ultron. He created all of the Sokovia stuff. He is the reason that they had Civil War in the first place. He's the reason that Zemo's even moderately involved.
He's the
in
reason
anything.
they had Civil War because he was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to fix his mistakes from the last film.
Yeah, but exactly.
trying to
All his
fix-
mistakes that he created. And
One
then started more
mistake.
mistakes.
One
Dude,
mistake.
It's a snowball of
Okay.
bad decisions, man.
I
Tony
can-
Stark sucks. He's
I
a
can
bad guy.
I can unravel this in
Villain.
in 1 minute.
Get him.
Okay.
Get him.
If you're going to go as far as saying that Tony Stark is actually the villain, who you really should be pointing your fingers at is Nick Fury.
He wanted world surveillance.
Is Nick Fury. Nick Fury is the one that brought Tony Stark into the Avengers Initiative in the first place.
Nah,
Because
he was gonna he didn't make him become Iron Man.
He was
He
going to
didn't make him continue to make suits and suits.
No, but
he
if,
was
if, but if it
interested in
wasn't for-
global security.
If it wasn't
Nah.
if it wasn't for Nick Fury, he wouldn't have had any access to any of this stuff in the first place. So actually, you should be mad at Nick Fury.
No, what do you don't think Tony Stark had access to all of his technology? What are you talking about?
Well, no. I'm saying that he's the one that pushed Tony to be better, to be a better version of himself, and want to protect the entire world.
Nah, honestly,
Because he was a self-centered
he
billionaire.
would have been a bad guy anyway.
Another issue is
Exactly.
Villains
There's
do
my
things-
point. He's a douche.
villains do things bad on purpose. Tony made a mistake and tried to fix it. That's not a villain. That's not a villain. That's someone who made a careless mistake and tried to fix it.
Tony Stark.
That's a mistake.
Tony
That's
Stark
not a
is
villain.
actually
You're just wrong.
the Marvel's biggest villain.
You are just wrong.
That's
like
right.
you are
Thumbs
embarrassing.
up for me.
I think what you're confusing is like some pretty okay writing and a story arc that they're telling versus like what's what I'm looking for? Like eventuality here, where it's like, okay, here's a character and they're doing these things and he's gonna have this arc.
Every problem that they have
Boils
leading
back
up
down?
to Thanos started with Tony.
You're just wrong. Okay, let's move on.
Technically,
Go ahead.
wouldn't it, then okay? But if you follow that train back, then wouldn't it technically be Tony Stark's dad who created the super serum?
No, it's Tony Stark's dad for having sex with his mom.
Wow,
Okay.
motherfucker.
Moving to the next one.
Anyways,
Yeah.
shitty
Nope, thumbs up. Tony
Shit.
Stark sucks.
fucking garbage.
All right, my first one. I'm going from least hot takes to the most hot.
Okay, all right.
My least hot take that I think I might get some thumbs up for, maybe. The Harry Potter TV show will fail, okay? But it's not because people don't want more Wizarding World. It's because they don't want to see a retread of the exact same story less than 25 years later when there's so many different things that they can tell, right? I think we're at a point where they decided to go a completely different direction because the Fantastic Beasts movie struggled. But let's say you created a whole new, not a whole new person similar to Harry Potter, right? But you put it in America. You did the American, you had the, I'm forgetting the names of the four, but they have a school, right, where they've got 4 things. Give us a whole new 7-year, or maybe they only do 6 in America, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But give us a whole new story that we don't know anything about and put it there. That's how many people are going to love to see that, right? But this movie, they're trying to do something new in a story that we've already seen, and I don't think it's going to work.
I'm going to go with 2 things. One, I'm going to give you a middle. I do think that it'll fail, but I don't think it's going to fail for that reason. I think it's going to fail because the writing is going to be
Okay, then I agree. I'll give you a little high. I'll give you like a 3/4
Okay.
on the go side because I do agree. I do think it will. I think it's gonna fail, but I don't think it's because of the retread thing. I think people are fine with the retread because we have at this point almost 2 generations that haven't grown up with them. They're watching these movies
for the first time.
for the first time. Yeah, I think that they're watching what their parents have watched. I feel like you can go back and look at baby book names or baby names of certain. If you got Harry, Ron, and Hermione, I think it's safe to say that if there's 10 years after that, you can just go ahead and do it again.
But this is I can't think of any movie franchise that has tried to do a complete
The follow-up to
so
my-
close.
I think that
together.
if they,
I think
if
Harry
the
Potter
writing-
still hold up, right? If you
No, I
watch
totally
Harry
agree.
Potter with a kid, right? Yeah, you could tell it's a little older, but it's not like you're watching
I think at this point I'd rather
I don't
just
know.
see more from the same world.
And that's what my argument
like an
is.
American version of
Yeah.
like Hogwarts or whatever. Which they kind of dabbled in a little bit in
Yeah,
Fantastic Beasts. Also, I think that
slightly.
you're slightly. This isn't really your point at all, but I think the failure of Fantastic Beasts can be chalked up to like one, the Ezra Miller stuff and Johnny Depp. They got hit with two of the craziest. One I think was definitely worthy of being canceled. The Ezra Miller stuff.
Yeah,
that he's
Ezra
a
Miller
piece of
fucking
shit.
sucks.
The Johnny
Yeah.
Depp stuff. I mean, he was
Unsubstantiated.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just
And more like he won
which is
pretty
crazy
much every.
because Disney ran away screaming from Johnny Depp immediately.
That was like,
But they let
Yeah.
Ezra Miller slide and even let the Flash movie come out.
well, that wasn't.
He
Disney.
was actively strangling women in hotel rooms.
That was more just Hollywood in general. That
That's
wasn't Disney.
proven.
Well, also
That's
neither of those
crazy.
were Disney. They were both Warner Brothers movies.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Oh no, what Disney was Fantastic Beasts though, wasn't it?
No,
No,
Warner
this is all
Brothers.
Warner's.
Oh really? Okay. Well, anyways, my bad on that one. However, it is crazy that Disney
An
ran
honorable-
Disney
screaming
catching
An
away.
honorable
random
mention.
strays for Ezra Miller.
If you have an honorable mention, I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
I think that Hollywood in general owes a bajillion dollars to Johnny Depp.
I would not go that far. I still think he's probably some of that stuff is still true, and he's still a dirtball. They were just both dirtballs. Like
Yeah,
that's not. That's
don't think
not.
that he deserves-
wasn't. You can't say he was this great guy. He wasn't. He's
not
still,
saying he was
he's
this
still a
great
total
guy.
dirtbag.
No, I'm
So
not
he
saying-
doesn't
I don't
deserve
know.
anything.
I don't think that none of the stuffs were like nothing was proven on his end.
There
Yeah,
was
I
stuff
mean,
that was proven.
Yeah,
for
he was
sure. If
definitely,
you
he
go
was
back
definitely
and
doing
look,
coke and he was having mega pints.
he was not do. He was
Who's
not.
not doing that?
He
Yeah.
was not very.
We're
nice.
doing that after this.
He was not a nice dude either. Like it was a toxic relationship on both ends. They were both bad people. Should he have gotten what he got? Probably not. Does he deserve all this praise of being a
I
great
don't
guy?
know.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
not
He's
at all.
still a bad guy.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not-
praising him. I'm saying he
I'm not
shouldn't
with-
have lost his job.
I'm not with all that.
Sure,
I
but
gotta
$1 bajillion.
Yeah,
from
I
the
think that they
industry?
should.
No, that's insane.
I think they should give him it.
Nope.
I want him back as Jack Sparrow.
Nope,
and then
cancel them both.
That's crazy.
Cancel
I think
both.
they deserve. I
Nah,
think I
that's
would
a-
go as far as Johnny Depp deserves $300 million to come back as Jack Sparrow.
I don't be okay with that. Yeah.
No, I
I'll put that there.
disagree.
Okay. Anyways, sorry to go back to your Harry Potter point. I again in the middle. I do think that it'll probably fail. I'm okay with like. I think if they took each movie and turned it into like a 10-episode season, I think there's enough there to like really flesh out what the.
Do we even know how
book
many
actually
episodes
is.
I'm
gonna
excited. I'm still excited for Harry Potter. I just don't think
I'm
it's gonna
watch it. I just have a really bad
No,
feeling.
we haven't.
Dude, at this point, I think we're probably gonna get like 6 to 8 episodes.
I just have a really bad feeling with the writing. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think the first two
Anyways,
seasons.
small aside here. I found out this last week. My uncle met Daniel Radcliffe in a bar in New York City.
Oh,
It's
that's
probably
cool.
just some
He-
random
he
dude that
went out-
looked like him.
No. So he was there. He does a bunch of Broadway stuff, right? He was there with a bunch of his like other actors that were on Broadway with him, and they were there for like one of the girls' birthday parties, and they all started singing "Happy Birthday" in the corner. And Daniel was at the bar next to my uncle, and he goes, "I can't believe they wouldn't ask me to sing with them." Anyways, that was it.
Nice.
Is he known for his singing?
No,
All right.
no.
So-
My uncle was like, "Well, good thing because you suck." at singing."
So 2 half thumbs ups. So I get 1 thumbs up.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Yeah.
you're at 0. I'm at
0.
1.
That's fine. That's fine.
and
Okay.
you're at 0 as well. So
Zach,
your
you're
second
up.
one.
Zach, you're up.
Okay. You know what? I will go from least hot takey to more hot takey. My least hot take is HBO superiority ended with Succession. Everything since then hasn't reached the same standard as previous HBO TV shows. Before Succession, you had Westworld, Game of Thrones, The Leftovers, Silicon Valley, Newsroom, Entourage, True Blood, The Wire, Sopranos, Barry, Chernobyl.
You're speaking my language because you know what the big thing that came out after that was?
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon.
House
so
of the Dragon.
I'm on your side, dude.
I will say that as
Honestly.
the one thing that has me like, I do love House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
But I do think that I don't think it's a crazy take to say that HBO's lost its luster.
No, I think Apple TV's
Succession.
just as good, if not a little better.
2023 was when Succession
Well,
ended,
one
and
of
I
our-
think that it's kind of gone downhill since 2020.
I totally agree. One of our very first topics that we talked about on this podcast, episode 1,
Yeah.
maybe even might have been 2. We talked about Apple leapfrogging, or at least
On
getting
par
to
with
the
HBO.
on par with HBO, like that being the goal. I think that at this point they've proven that they
Yeah.
they can play at that level. But I totally agree. Especially kind of playing off of your last point, Lance. If Harry Potter bombs, I totally agree. I think that they just aren't what they once were. I think that they're not really headed in any
I think that you
good
can
direction.
look at in 2020, and I actually I went back through House of the Dragon stuff just recently, but season 1 was affected by a writer's strike, and season 2 it was originally going to be 10 episodes. It got taken down to 8, and it's because Discovery cut the budget at the last second, and then because the writers were still on strike, they weren't able to rewrite what was going on in that season. So I think that HBO, one of the reasons why the superiority thing is happening is because since 2020, there's been they're bankrupt effectively. I mean, Discovery, Disney, or Discovery, HBO, all that good stuff. Apparently, what's happening is they're starting 2 companies now and
they're
putting
playing
all
musical chairs
the
with
bad debt
their
on
brands.
the new company.
Yeah.
And then reopening like HBO as like its main thing. But also we've had writer strike after writer strike, Actors Guild issues, and also the company's out of money. So like they just don't have it in them anymore. I mean, is it their fault? Maybe. But
I think that they probably have one good show a year in them, which is I think what essentially you suggested with listing all those properties at the beginning. To me though, a very visual representation of their downfall is True Detective. True Detective season 1 was one of the greatest, if not, could be argued the greatest season of television ever.
Sure.
It is phenomenal. The writing is insane. The story is insane. Like it's I'm speaking very broadly here, but the following seasons just got worse and worse and worse. It's just I don't know where they're going. It feels directionless at this point, and it's sad because we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's almost like this. It used to be something to look forward to every Sunday night. Like
Sunday night at 9:00.
There's got to be something good on, you know?
Yeah.
It's just not the case anymore.
No. It's really fallen downhill. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because I think that like they're really good at having one really good TV show for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
That's about as far as they can go.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe it even speaks more to the fact that they've managed to kind of like go from just that network, like that standalone home box office, like to the streaming, and then they did still really well, especially with the, like season 3 through didn't they go HBO Go was like season 3 of like Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
right?
season
something
3
like
through
that.
like 5 or something was HBO Go, and then it went to Max, I think, after 6 and 7.
I mean, until now, they were one of the few like that really killed it, going from straight up like cable network to streaming, and rather than just creating some random new
they
thing.
were just pumping out good stuff. I mean, not only the TV shows, but they had all the good documentaries were on HBO.
Absolutely.
All the good documentaries were there. They had a lot of good comedy stuff. I mean, it was just they were killing everybody else.
People now just talk about Netflix comedy specials. HBO was like they pioneered
That's where it was.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
if you were Chris Rock on an HBO special, you were killing the game.
You were making buku bucks.
Yeah. But I just don't know where it went so wrong so fast, because it feels like after 2020,
man, it's kind of sad.
Unless it was just the writer's strike and the actor's strike.
I think it was probably a money issue too. Like they didn't have.
Well, yeah, the bankruptcy.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that. That's a huge. They just didn't have.
What
enough.
else were they spending money? I mean, they made ungodly amounts of money from Game of Thrones.
Dude,
where did all the money go?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
The show cost $1 bajillion to make, though.
Yeah,
and Zaslav is fucking probably lining the pockets of his buddies right now. Did you see that?
They offered them a blank check for season 8 of Game of Thrones. I mean, I don't understand where the money went.
Oh my gosh, I think I might have to change my last.
Last point. Okay. Anyways, sorry.
No,
I agree. Thumbs up. That makes total sense. That was a good one. All right.
So 2 thumbs up for Zach, 1 for me, 0 for Jacob.
We're on the board.
All right.
Okay.
My next one. I think that Zack Snyder is the best unintentional comedic director ever. One of the best.
Give me your reasoning behind this.
Yeah. None of his movies, you just can't take his stuff seriously anymore. Aside from like Watchmen and maybe his full length Justice League, those were good. I don't think he's really done anything else that's that great.
I don't think they're great, but I don't think
Man of Steel is good. I do like Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is very good.
But
I don't think they're...
Dude, his Rebel Moon stuff is the shittiest slop
It's not good.
ever. It's terrible.
But I don't think it's so bad that it's funny either. Like, it's just bad.
I think at
it's
this
just
point,
not.
no,
it's just not good.
I agree.
You know
Maybe
what I
this
mean?
wasn't a substantiated one, but I just don't think he's. I think he's incredibly overrated to the point where like it's just sad.
I agree. He's not a good director. I don't find any of his stuff like humorously bad though. That's where it's like some stuff I can find like, wow, that was really bad. Like that was almost enjoyable.
I mean, like,
All right,
but like
I'm gonna go through this really quickly. We got Dawn of the Dead, 300.
Yep.
Watchmen, Legends of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Dude, some
Is that
of the,
animated?
The fuck was he even trying
yeah,
to do
I've
there?
seen, I've seen that.
But I will give it to him on this one.
Dude,
Sucker Punch was.
Yeah.
I mean, that might have been the best movie of 2011.
you're more DC and after is really what you're getting.
No,
at,
I'm
right?
saying
or
like
you think other stuff before that.
There are a number of scenes in 300 that are just like, what the fuck was that? Like
You're not a 300 guy.
I like the overall. I think the movie is fine, and it's just doesn't do it for me. But
Really?
dude, the
thought it was so
freaking
good.
the Hunchback guy is comic. That's straight comedic for me. Like I like it's the most insane thing. The Persian the what's his name, Xerxes,
Yeah.
fucking hilarious looking.
Well, yeah, but I think
I like
okay.
the-
I will agree.
a
with
lot of the
you.
line deliveries in that are just laughable.
Okay. So obviously, Rebel Moon 1 and 2, dog shit.
Dude, his front runner
He
was
tried-
Gerard Butler.
he
That dude acts like he has
I like Gerard
student
Butler.
loans.
He's great in great in How to
300
Train
is
Your Dragon.
fantastic. I don't know
He's
what you're
great
talking
in
about.
No,
Greenland.
I don't. I think 300 is bad.
I don't get that.
I
At all.
don't agree with you either.
Okay, let me. Okay, Rebel
This
Moon
Guardians
1
of
and 2,
Ga'Hoole,
bad.
dog shit.
I've never.
Guardians
seen
of
Sucker
Ga'Hoole,
Punch,
never
dog
saw it.
shit. Batman v Superman,
You
Dawn
didn't
of
like
Justice,
Sucker Punch?
dog shit. No, again, half the shit in that movie is just straight comedy, man.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay,
You're just,
you get it.
Nah,
thumbs-
I'm fine with it. I
thumbs
thought
down.
these were supposed to be like bad takes.
If you
No, they're supposed to be takes that we truly believe in.
That's not a hot
If you-
take.
if
That's
this
just
is-
what you think.
if
No,
you
that's a
truly-
hot. It's supposed to be a
No, you had this is his hot take.
yeah, and he's
it's
wrong.
dog shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, so
all right.
give it a thumbs
Then,
down.
and then
Yeah, it's fine.
so then Rebel Moon, they put out on Netflix the
Let me say what I was gonna
the
say.
cut. And this is my point.
2016 and on, dog shit.
No.
Everything before that, he knew what he was doing.
Okay, I'm just gonna move on.
That okay, I can agree with that to an extent. I do think that 300 is not that good.
Okay,
I think that people just like senseless violence.
take number 2 for me. Okay, and this is where it gets hot. Okay, in 30 years,
This is your third take, actually.
this is my second.
Then why have I?
That
done
was an
two?
honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start over. Okay,
In 30
my hot take number 2.
30 years.
In 30 years, we are going to look back at Avatar, the franchise, more favorably than we will look back at Star Wars or the MCU.
What?
And hear me out, okay? They're going in 2 different directions, right? Avatar is getting better. James Cameron has a 3-movie plan that he's going to finish out, and he's got the plan from the get-go, right? It's all been planned.
It takes him 20 years to make one of these movies.
Dude,
How-
but they're always good though.
Okay.
No, okay. Go
Okay,
ahead.
first of all,
hold on,
two
hold on,
of
hold
them.
on, hold on, hold on. Let me finish. Okay. So we're going in one direction. He's got a
debate.
plan. The second one's coming out 3 years later. The next one's coming out 3 years later. The plan is for those to be done. Do I think we'll get more? Yeah, probably without James Cameron, but he'll still have a vision for it. Okay. Star Wars has no game plan. They've missed so many times, so much lately, right? And they're pouring in all this money, but nothing is coming out that's any good other than, sure, you can say Andor was good. It's fine, right? But a lot of this stuff is just terrible, okay? You have Marvel, who post Endgame has been bad, right? So you're getting into these levels where these things are going to start to fizzle out, right? Even Star Wars, even Marvel, if they keep failing, eventually 30 years from now, they'll fizzle out, right? But Avatar is going to keep gaining popularity, and those kids 30 years from now, they're going to look back at Avatar a lot more favorably than they're going to look back at Star Wars, because I mean, movies, the original trilogy is not going to be enjoyable for them. Like, it's already starting to lose its like visual luster, right? Marvel, they're going to be so outdated and so much to watch. Your Avatar will be looked back more favorably in 30 years than Marvel or Star Wars.
Can I tell you why you're wrong?
Sure.
Okay. an old saying, right? You don't remember what they said, you remember how it made you feel. Okay? So I still remember fondly of like going to the theater and seeing Phantom Menace.
But the people 30 years from now aren't going to feel that.
But you're saying us in 30 years.
No. Well, I'm saying everybody, which a lot of people who are remembering
do you think that you need to specify? Are you thinking? Are you talking like Star Wars as the entire
thing?
The entire thing, okay.
Total, in totality.
But again,
Marvel in totality, Star Wars in totality, Avatar in totality, and the people 30 years from now in totality.
I remember going. Like I said, I remember going and seeing the Phantom Menace in theaters and being like, "Holy shit." This is incredible. I remember watching the original trilogy and saying, oh my God, this is amazing. And I can still think that, even though Ahsoka sucks ass.
But I think...
And the Grogu movie is going to suck ass. I still feel that way. But when I think about when I saw Avatar in theaters, I think, wow, that was fucking dumb.
But you think that. But the kids, during Avatar, when that came out, they're thinking the exact same way as you do about Phantom Menace, and there's a whole lot more people that watch that as kids than watch the Phantom Menace as kids. It isn't the same.
People don't. I don't think.
No.
Yes, there is.
That's
it's
so
$3 billion. In what way is it not been more
worldwide?
watched?
Maybe, dude. Star Wars
Avatar is the most watched movie of all time. You literally can't argue that. More kids have watched Avatar at that
Star
age
Wars
than
than all of the Star Wars movies.
Yes.
You're insane.
No,
you're just talking out of your ass.
No, you're literally just wrong. Kids, when it came out, the Phantom Menace or Avatar, you think more kids watched the Phantom Menace than Avatar. That's the stupidest argument you could possibly make. Avatar is the most watched movie of all time. And that's inarguable. It's $3 billion. And what way could you even argue it?
Because the cultural impact of Star Wars is quadrillion times
I don't give a shit about the cultural impact. I said
everyone
the most
has
watched.
seen,
the most watched movie of all time is Avatar. You literally can't argue it.
No, you can argue that it made the most watched. That is, how can you quantify that?
Most watched in the theaters. It made the most money.
There's so many more Star Wars movies. That, like, I think total amount of eyes on a property.
We were arguing Phantom Menace versus Avatar. The most watched movie.
No, we were saying Star Wars.
No, we were talking about Phantom Menace, and now you're shifting it because you realize what a stupid take that was.
You weren't specific.
No, he said Phantom Menace. I said Avatar.
I think what you're trying to say is the most watched things of all time. I just think that the fandom is different. And I know there are people that are out there that are really passionate about Avatar, and I'm so sorry, but you guys are all wrong. But here's the thing. The fandoms that really get into Marvel and that really get into Star Wars,
people aren't cosplaying as the fucking Natiri or whatever,
and
it's just more intense on the Star Wars and the Marvel side.
But they weren't.
There aren't Avatar conventions.
They weren't doing that after the Incredible Hulk, and they weren't doing that. I mean, they were because of the comics, but I mean, they weren't nearly as Incredible Hulk. Right? We're 2 movies in.
To use your point against you, they came out in 2008, the same year as Iron Man.
Yes.
Why hasn't that, like, if it's this huge, massive cultural thing that you're talking about, why are there not conventions for this? Why are people not cosplaying or
because we're only 2 movies in? It's taking longer.
You
to
said
make.
It's the most watched thing of all time. Like,
it is.
Why is it? Then why does it not already have the cultural impact of Star Wars?
It's the most watched.
No, because it's generations of people.
No,
you're wrong.
We said kids. You're completely twisting what I said. He was arguing kids in the theater at Phantom Menace, and I was arguing kids in the theater at Avatar. And you can't argue that more kids went to the theater and watched Phantom Menace than watched Avatar. You literally can't. There's a box office for a reason that proves you're wrong.
I'm not arguing that. I do think that more people obviously watched Avatar. I mean, it has... 2.9 billion?
Star Wars: The Phantom Menace made $924 million.
Okay, look at Avatar.
Okay.
It's
2.9 billion.
2.9 billion.
Okay,
so where's your argument?
But the argument isn't...
You're asking me who took their kids to the movie. You have no idea if children or adults watched this.
Everybody, $3 billion. Every single person on the planet went
there's
and watched
no memorability. That. I agree. I like Avatar, but I didn't see it as a kid and be like,
because you weren't.
I was definitely a child in 2008.
Okay, Avatar streams on Disney Plus. We could probably pull the numbers of how many streams Avatar has versus
people are watching
all the Star
more
Wars.
of the Phantom Menace than they're. Yeah, you're just wrong.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
You're
But
also just
B,
pulling you're pulling it out of your ass.
Here's what I'm-
There's no way to quantify whether a child watched it or an adult.
If you're talking total,
$2.9 billion.
And there's
Everybody
billions
watched
of adults.
if you're talking about total views, though, there is no way that 2 Avatar movies can beat the MCU, or Star
No,
Wars.
that's not what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
My original
You're
point
saying is
wasn't
that
about.
I don't
people saw it
disagree
in
with your.
theaters.
I don't necessarily.
No. My original point before we even got in this side argument about views, my original point was 30 years from now, we're going to look back, okay? And there's a lot of people being burned by Star Wars right now. There's a lot of people being burned by the MCU right now. The Avatar movies are getting better. My prediction is that in 30 years, we're going to look back more favorably at Avatar than we do at Star Wars and at Marvel, because they're starting to burn bridges. And they continue to burn these bridges. And eventually, we're finally going to be like, you know what? Marvel kind of sucks. It's not that interesting. Star Wars kind of sucks. It's not that interesting.
I just don't think
Avatar
has
is
the juice.
fantastic.
I just don't think Avatar has the juice. They're just not. I just for
But
me.
you
it
haven't
doesn't-
seen the second one yet.
It does.
It wasn't
I
for
don't-
you. The
I
first
just-
one wasn't for you.
I just don't like it.
That's
myself.
fine. But the second one made $2.3 billion, right?
I just don't think that people like us can. There's no way that
Like
you
we
and
couldn't
I-
even name the main characters.
There's no way that you and I could like
There's no
look
way a
back
kid can.
more fondly on Avatar than Star Wars.
You can disagree, but that's just my prediction. That's fine. Give me the
I think it's
thumbs
the thumbs
down.
down.
Give
Zach,
me
your
your
last
hatred.
hot take.
I have-
And that wasn't even my hottest one, boy.
I have 2 more. Sorry.
You
I
have 2 more.
Well, yeah, I gave you the bonus one first.
Yeah, you said
Then
okay.
HBO.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Second hot take, and
We
I
needed
actually
to
think that you might agree with me on this
Wait,
one.
hold on. Can you? We need to speed it up, and you go ahead. Start over,
Okay.
Oh, come on. Don't make us settle down.
dude. We're already at an hour 40.
Yeah, we're hitting 3
We're
today.
fucking going. All
We're
right.
hitting 3 today.
Here, I'm enjoying this.
And I've
part.
got a great
Okay.
movie of the week,
ahead.
so we're
And
not.
we can skip the
skipping
20
that.
questions.
No, I got a banger.
Okay.
We're not skipping that.
Number 2, Marvel should have completely reset after Endgame. All new actors, complete reset and told the new story rather than trying to keep the same faces and weave all those stories together.
I think that's a quick and easy one, dude. Thumbs
Really?
down. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's where I think they went wrong. Okay, I can agree with you that they made mistakes, but I think their biggest mistakes were getting rid of Chris Evans and getting rid of Iron Man. Right? They could have done one. I think getting rid of both at the same time was a mistake. They needed one of those guys to continue on, and maybe they die
hold the story,
now.
sure.
But they, for some reason, they felt that Thor was their best option of the big 3 of Marvel
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
And probably because he's the cheapest, honestly, but he doesn't pull views like the other 2 did.
No.
I
So
think
if you wanted to get rid of 2 of them, you should have either kept Robert Downey Jr.
My
or
point
Chris
to this one
Evans.
is I think that they would have had a much easier time and could have told a better story if they would have just recast everybody and
That I
acted
don't-
like, okay, look,
That I
this
agree
is
with.
this is the Endgame franchise, right? And then you have the Infinity War
The
or
saga.
the different saga, and it's all new actors. I just think it would have been easier to be like, okay, well in that universe, this is what happened. In this universe, this is what happened.
I can
Because
agree
then you
with
go
that.
the comic route, literally, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, Tony Stark does this, and this over here, but over here it doesn't make sense because he doesn't do any of that shit. This is all his story,
Like
from this
isolated.
side. Yeah, I think they
complete
would have
stories.
way easier to have story A, story B, story C, and then just look. You might not ever be able to find a better Tony Stark than RDJ.
Mhm.
That's fair, but I think you'd have a much easier time telling a story and
think
have it being cohesive.
I think
can
what you're
agree with that.
overlooking though is the fact that what they did was completely unprecedented in the
Yeah.
current like media climate. You had at one point. I mean, I quit counting at this point, but like wasn't Endgame, the whole like Infinity Saga was 22 films. I
Yeah.
think the real problem that they had was that they went the streaming route. I think that the shows sunk the current opinion of Marvel. I think that we got too much of a good thing.
I think I'm gonna disagree with you slightly. I think streaming can work, right? I think their main issue was Kevin Feige had a plan up until Phase 3, and now he doesn't have that same plan. They needed to
And then
shift
Kang
gears
started
and find
strangling
something.
women,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
But
you know?
I do think one of the main mistakes was they wanted RDJ to be the guy to snap his fingers, right? If that's what happens, that's fine. But you can't also kill Cap then. They needed to keep one of those guys to usher in the new age, and then maybe like Doomsday, right? We see him die after he hypes up, someone new to take that place. Like a Sam Wilson, even. If you want to do that, you have a couple more Cap films with him in it, and you see him kind of mentoring, and then boom, in Doomsday, he becomes the new Cap. I think that's a way better way to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree.
Give me your hatred.
I agree.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
I think
you switched.
Yeah,
you
I did
sides.
switch because
Switch
I
sides.
like tossed it out a little more. I think that I actually I'll give you a halfie.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take a slow dance chub.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. All right, my turn. Okay, I think that Star Wars is directly. I think that Star Wars is the reason that Game of Thrones took a massive nosedive.
That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
That's I think that.
Undisputed fact.
Yeah,
Let's
I
keep
mean,
falling down.
yeah, just because you're saying the directors kind of cashed it out.
I
Is that
think,
your argument?
Yeah. I do think though that maybe I need to modify it a little bit. I think that Star Wars and the length of I think they could have wrapped it up in 2 or 3 seasons, but they just didn't put forth full effort. You know what I mean?
No, so it's confirmed that HBO literally was going to hand them
No, I know
a blank
that.
check.
Yeah,
right?
they were going to give them
Dan and
whatever
Dave
money they wanted.
said, we would love to get to the Star Wars project as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and wrap up this massive story in 6 episodes. Or was it 7? 6 episodes?
6
episodes.
It went 7 seasons.
It's crazy. If you want to know my actual my theory on this whole thing, I think they needed 2 more seasons. So the entire season 7 was dealing with the Night King. Season 8 would be dealing with Cersei, and then season 9 could be your 6 episode season. That's just dealing with Dany and kind of the fallout thereafter. That's how I would have handled it.
But I give you a thumbs up, but I don't know how hot that take was.
That's not. Yeah, I honestly I was out of takes. So,
All right.
Anyways,
We're ready for my hottest one?
I do have one more.
Oh,
Because it comes back around to me one more time.
okay. Well, you ready for my hottest one? My
Go ahead.
final one?
Yep.
Okay.
God.
Lord of the Rings is not a top 5 trilogy of all time. It's hardly in the top 10.
Thumbs up.
You guys are fucking dumb, dude. I'll just not post this.
No.
Lord of the Rings
You're the
is
stupidest fucking people in here.
Lord of the Rings is fucking
Go ahead. No,
garbage.
but I
Let
would
me
love to
name
hear
the
your
trilogies. I've got
no.
9
So
trilogies ahead of it.
explain why.
Okay, I think that they're fairly boring. They're too long.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 movies of walking, Jacob.
Yeah.
No.
They,
Oh my god.
it's
yeah, you're
literally
supposed-
an adventure.
Nah,
sure,
dude,
but
this is gonna go right in my next one. You guys just don't know media literacy.
It's an
Fucking douchebags.
adventure. There's no action. Nobody
No
wants
action. What?
Nobody wants to see a bunch of midgets walk around for 3 seasons. For 9 hours.
It's 3 fucking movies of walking.
Oh my god.
Okay, here's the trilogies I've got.
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Here's the trilogies I've got ahead. Okay, OG Star Wars,
Okay.
first 3.
Sure.
Okay, Toy Story, 1, 2, and 3. Back to the Future,
Ugh, no, I think
Indiana
one's
Jones, the
not even a trilogy at this point.
the first 3. I'm just counting the original 3.
Okay.
I mean,
The Matrix.
Lord
better-
of the Rings has
The
3
Matrix
Hobbit
better
movies,
be
so
in
you
there.
Yeah,
can-
but those are separate.
No, so are these. The original Indiana Jones is a fair cut. Okay. The new Spider-Man trilogy,
What the fuck, dude?
Homecoming, Far From Home, and
No, you're just trying to
no,
get a
I'm
rise to
not.
it. Yeah, you're just an
I'm
idiot.
not. I'm naming them.
The Matrix better be in there.
Iron Man. No, the Matrix is not in there.
You don't
Iron
like
Man,
The Matrix?
Nah, see, this is what we're dealing with, dude.
Captain America,
Okay.
Dude has
Dark Knight.
less
But
brain
these
cells
aren't.
than a
But
slug.
Captain America's not a trilogy.
The first 3. First 3 are a trilogy with the same Cap. Iron Man, the first 3 with the same Iron Man.
Will it be? Oh, so the first Avengers.
No, Iron Man 2, Iron Man
no,
3.
you just said Captain America.
Oh.
First Avenger, Winter Soldier,
and
Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War is so hard to.
I still don't quantify that as a.
No, I
trilogy,
still.
but-
So like you're saying all of these are above the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Nah.
Dark Knight, and soon to be Dune, and that's 10.
The only one that I agree with right there is Dune. I think that Dune is on
You don't
par
agree with OG
Peter
Star Wars?
Jackson's.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that Lord of the Rings is a better
One
trilogy.
that you guys might not agree with. Toy Story is undoubtedly 3 movies better. The first 3 Toy Stories are infinitely better. Infinitely better.
They're just different.
I mean, they do
I don't know how
say
you can
infinity a whole
compare.
bunch. So
To infinity and beyond.
But
yeah.
I get you're gonna thumbs down me. It's not top 5 and it's barely top 10. As
Oh,
soon as
it's
Dune
top-
comes out, it's not even top 10.
It's the greatest of all time.
So
Well, the fact that the Matrix isn't in there is really sad. But
sorry, I just don't.
As
You
far as
know,
trilogy,
I've
if I
only
had
ever
to rank
watched the
trilogies,
first
if I had to rank
Matrix,
trilogies
because
right
I've heard
now,
the
Really?
next 2 are bad. So
I
I'm
don't
just-
think so.
trilogies right now, we're going Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Matrix, and that's it. That's my top 3.
my top 3 right now. Toy Story at 1 spot. Back to the Future in the 2. Indiana Jones in the 3.
Indiana Jones would be 4 for me.
Okay.
I can't even think. Because I just don't like Lord of the Rings. I'm just not a Lord of the Rings guy.
I would say the first 3 Transformers movies are better than the Toy Story movies.
See, you are stupid.
Toy Story is
Clip
pretty.
that. Clip that.
Toy Story is
100%,
pretty
dude.
up there.
Get roasted.
Michael
dude.
Bay was
Get
on
roasted.
one.
No,
Was on a heater.
You're so stupid. You are literally
Shia
it's like
LaBeouf,
arguing with a
Sam
4-year-old
Witwicky.
that
No.
he's like, oh,
You don't like Lord of the Rings because you.
talking
Oh no,
robots.
they're talking longer than 2 minutes. I can't understand. I don't understand
They're
what they're
literally
doing.
just walking.
That's not fucking true.
They're literally just walking.
Yeah, they're walking to go destroy the ring.
And then, not only did they not get enough walking in there, they do it again in The Hobbit. They do
Technically, it's a prequel.
I
you
get it's
fucking
before,
idiot.
but okay, that's my
Okay,
pick.
I'm gonna go Star Wars. I'm gonna go Matrix, and then I'm gonna go. A funny one would be I just love the Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight definitely would be number 3 for me. But Blade.
Okay.
I think Blade is better than
It's not a trilogy.
Blade 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, Blade. I was
Yeah.
thinking Blade Runner. Yeah.
No.
Dude, I love Blade.
Blade is great. They're not.
Blade Trinity is
Ah,
so bad. Though.
It's fine. It's fine. But no, I definitely would go with Blade over.
So you give me a thumbs up though?
Yeah,
No,
thumbs up.
Fucking God.
Sorry.
It's like I'm not kidding you. Like
Sorry,
I want to punch a brick wall, dude. You're so stupid.
I would put.
Oh,
the
you're so stupid. Putting
here's something even-
Transformers ahead of Toy Story is asinine.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely embarrassing for you.
No.
Like it's literally.
No.
I
Do
would
you
be
want me to-
embarrassed to put that on the
Transformers
internet.
better than Toy Story.
I would be embarrassed.
Do you want me to make him even more mad?
Yeah.
Do you know what is another better trilogy? The Hangover 1, 2, and 3.
You know what? Why don't you go and not watch another scary movie, you pussy? All
Okay,
right.
that's fine.
All right, continue.
All right, my last hot take, and I know I'm gonna get voted down on this one. I don't give a shit. Breaking Bad is just that. It's bad. I struggled to watch the first 3 seasons and couldn't get into it.
I can't give you a thumbs up. I like Breaking Bad's fine. I don't think it's not this masterpiece that everyone makes it out to be. It's fine. It didn't need Better Call Saul. No, absolutely not. And I think that's a waste of the internet. But Breaking Bad's fine. So I can't give it to you, but I agree it's not as hyped up as everyone makes it out to be.
Cool.
Thumbs down. I do not agree at all. I think
Anything I said after the last comment it doesn't matter. I could have said anything. It doesn't even matter. He's so mad about
you were not. You could have said
this guy sucks on Peter Jackson as he goes to sleep at night. This guy loves that shit.
yeah. Lord of the Rings is
Man, Lord of the Rings.
Some of the best.
I love to watch movies about people walking.
you just don't understand at all. You're just I'm sorry that your brain is so teeny tiny.
I've tried to watch it 3 times.
I've fallen.
I don't understand how, yeah.
a bunch of
fine.
times. I've watched the first 2
I'm sorry
Hobbit
that
movies.
your
they're
attention span is that
horrible.
ruined by TikTok and that of a fly. All right, my last one. I'm going after a guy that I just kind of praised inadvertently. I think he's a great guy. He's a genuine dude. I think that Keanu Reeves is a really bad actor.
Agree. Oh. If I had 3 thumbs, I'd give them all to you.
Like I said, the dude is an absolute treasure, national treasure, world treasure, whatever. He's a great man, a genuinely good person. He's shown that on many, many occasions with him giving money to people and taking less salary and having his crew be better taken care of and just he's just a very nice guy. the dude is wooden as they come, man. Like he's I just don't he doesn't have much emotion. And that may just be because of the characters that he plays, but also
okay.
I
think that it's not okay. I would agree with you if you said Keanu doesn't have very much range as an actor.
No, I think in all the roles that he's famous for, I think he's bad acting in them.
Bill and Ted?
I think he's a phenomenal. I've actually not seen Bill and Ted.
He plays like a funny stoner California guy.
Yeah, that might be on brand for him.
But I think that I'd be on board if you said that he didn't have much range. But I don't think he's really acting. I just think that that's just who he is. He's just quiet and stoic.
Okay, so then I think that proves my point. If he's not really acting, he's kind of bad at it.
But that's okay. So then that's the same kind of thing with like, all right, Kaylee Coco or however you fucking pronounce her name.
I don't think she's a good actor either.
She's not, but she's great on what she does on
reading lines, waiting for laugh tracks.
Yeah, she's great at that, and having sweater puppies, and she's great at doing that on The Big Bang Theory. That's the role that she.
Now
plays.
we're truly objectifying.
That was crazy.
But listen, same thing with like Michelle Rodriguez, for instance. She's a terrible actress.
I totally agree. I don't see how you're disproving me. You're just giving other examples of bad actors.
But they're really good at what they do. That's what I'm saying.
You think that Michelle Rodriguez is good at what she does? Actually, that's not true. I just watched Dungeons and Dragons, and I love her in that movie.
Yeah, she's great at playing like the tomboy, beat up.
She's really good at playing grumpy.
Punchy girl thing.
She's just got a good grumpy face.
Yeah. No, they're just
big time RBF.
I'll give you a middle because I don't think he's a great actor, but I think he's really good at doing the couple of things that he's possible.
For it all, maybe I modify my point a little bit. Like it's not even a take at this point, though. It's just insane that he has the star power pull for how bad of an actor he is. Like he truly is a movie star. And Keanu Reeves? Yes.
No.
Yeah, I think he is.
I don't think so.
I think I agree.
John Wicks don't do.
Okay, you've gained a little bit of my trust.
John Wicks don't do Mission Impossible numbers. Sorry, they just don't. Like,
I think they have the same cult followings though.
You got to pull numbers to be a movie star. So,
okay.
In my opinion, I would say no.
I agree.
Do we want to?
I mean, you do love.
We need to wrap it up.
Yeah, we got 20 questions.
All right, so that's hot takes of the week. Let us know in the comments what you think about those puppies.
All right, let's finish it off with 20 questions. We're starting to gain a lot of movies here. I'm going to have to go back and listen to them, but I do not believe we've done this one yet.
Are we still doing 20 questions?
Yeah, we got to.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's run it.
Let it rip. All right. Is this does this movie take place on Earth?
No.
Ooh.
No, it does not.
Would you consider this movie a sci-fi movie?
I would.
Okay. Go ahead, Zach. Or I'll keep rolling.
I'm writing down answers as we go, so
okay.
I can start.
I'm just hitting the normal ones we'd ask.
Is this movie part of a franchise?
I think we determined last time that you would consider it part of a franchise.
Okay, so we're probably talking remake or something really old or really weirdly connected. So we'll give that a.
Okay.
We'll consider that, but we won't hold that as, deep fact.
Okay.
Is this movie an adaptation?
Yes.
Okay, so it comes from a alternative source.
Is the movie's title more than one word?
No.
It is a one-word
title. That was a good one early too. All right, okay. All right, so we're sci-fi for sure.
Sci-fi.
Let's go era. Let's break down the.
Was this movie released?
No, ask me first.
Okay, I was gonna say after 2000.
See, why are you pigeonholing yourself?
Okay, after 2010.
No, like
2015.
I think you need to go the other way. I think you need to start now and go back.
2005 to 2020.
Fine, go 2000. That's okay. Because now that I've thought about it a little bit, that's not a terrible way to go. Because then.
Okay, was this movie released after the year 2000?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Was it after the year 2010?
It was, yes.
Okay, so in the last 15 years, which is still insane to think about.
Okay. Sci-fi movies with one-word titles.
In the last 15 years.
That does not take place on Earth in the last 15 years.
I don't know why, but I immediately went to the Will Smith movie with Jaden Smith. Is that like Terra Nova or something like that? Or like...
Never saw
Terra Nova's the dinosaur
That's
TV
the
show.
TV show, right? Okay, what am I thinking of? Terra... It's something Terra. I'm going to look that up.
Okay.
Is it possible that it's like Dune
definitely
or something? I mean, obviously we're sci-fi.
He said
movie.
it's got a good one. There's no way he's picking Dune.
Okay, got a real good one, and it's part of a franchise. It is an adaptation. Do you want to ask if there's like a sequel?
Because he was loosey goosey with the franchise question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. How many are we at though? By the way.
7.
Okay, go ahead.
This is number 7. Yeah. Is there a sequel?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we hone in more on the year, or should we hone in more on like what sort of adaptation?
I'd say we like go like, is this part of a book?
Yeah, is this based on a book?
No.
Okay.
So it's definitely
It's either
it's either a remake of a movie from a
like
movie.
a TV show even.
Yeah.
We've had that before. Like with Power Rangers, for example.
Oh, we did Power Rangers? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're on my shit list, big dog, all right? So you can just shut up.
You take things so personally.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy.
Just
Like,
want to defend it. You're right, I do. Yeah.
like I wasn't attacking you. I was attacking
No,
the
it's
movie.
just the way
that
you say
were
it. And you can't say you weren't attacking me. You absolutely were.
Okay, at the end.
Yeah.
At the end.
I think we need to
Someone is
whittle down.
sensitive.
Yeah, absolutely. You got sensitive skin.
At least we didn't
teeth,
bring
and
up
a
Mission
sensitive
Impossible.
heart.
I could have got ugly.
Real sensitive head.
Don't you fucking talk about and Mission Impossible. Okay.
He totally missed that little dig at him too.
yeah,
Sensitive hairline.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I wasn't
Okay.
gonna attack
All
your
right,
hairline,
Tubby.
'cause
All right, let's go here. All right, let's go. Is this movie, was it made between 2000? Has this movie come out in the last 5 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're at 9.
All right.
So you would consider that 2020 or newer?
Yep.
Did you watch this movie in theater?
I did. 10.
Okay. It's a sci-fi movie, one word.
And it's not based on a book. So Dune is out.
Yep.
Last 5 years.
I'm trying. He watched it in theaters.
Yep.
It's a sci-fi movie. I'm gonna ask him if it's exclusively sci-fi. Because we asked, would he consider it sci-fi?
Okay.
In what way would it be? Like, what would you
Is
consider?
it? Are you saying? Well, then
exclusively?
let's clarify. Then, are you saying it's when you said it's a sci-fi movie? Are you saying it's just sci-fi?
What does that mean? Like, what would you consider?
I would say there's, like, other
because
things.
everything is gonna have like
Well,
something else.
You
in
say,
it,
yeah. I mean,
right?
you say a lot of times like there's
Elements.
elements of sci-fi.
I mean,
Like if I go and look at this movie, is sci-fi the first thing that comes up,
well, technically no, I guess. So no, I would say no.
or is it like an action sci-fi?
Part of the franchise and
11.
then not based on a book. So it has to be a comic then
Or a television show?
or a television show. Do you want to ask that?
I
Well,
would.
where did we land on the sci-fi question you just asked?
I think we just consider it a sci-fi movie. Go ahead and ask if it's a comic. Is it based on a comic?
No. Well,
Okay.
there may be comics, but not that I'm aware of.
How is it part of a franchise then if it's not, there's no sequel, then it has to be TV show.
Last 5 years, I'm trying like. There's not. I mean, there's been quite a few movies, but I'm trying to think of what he saw in theaters.
I'm cooking today.
Is
cooking.
the lead, the movie's lead,
Uh-huh.
is it a male?
No.
What are we
13.
at? Would you consider it a kids movie?
No. 14. Well, like not a kid. Like you're talking like itty bitties, like 10 or under.
It's like,
No.
Oh, you
Middle
know we
s-
haven't asked yet if it's live action or is it
oh
Or-
yeah.
We're
Is
14 in.
is the movie live action?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you guys like your hint?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to read 4 movie reviews for this. 2
I like
positive and
that.
2 negative. Okay. Blank sure tries to be funny, but fails mightily, unless you take into account its oodles of unintended meta commentary. With a star-studded cast, Blank set high expectations right from the start. Those are the two negative ones. The two positive ones, okay? Blank earned its poor reception, but for what it does with Blank, it's also earned my respect. That's one of the positive ones. And the other positive one was much of the film's success can be attributed to the fact that it is exceptionally well casted.
Okay, so star-studded
Got
cast
5 left.
in the last 5 years.
Wait, can you read the first one?
The first negative one?
Yeah, it was like something about being funny.
Yeah. Blank sure tries to be funny, but it fails mightily unless you take into account its oodles of unintended meta commentary.
I don't know why, but like sci-fi, not, but it's part of a franchise. You said, right?
Yep.
So okay, so Solo. Is he going to consider that because there's not a sequel to it?
I don't think Solo came out in the last 5 years.
No, you're right.
That was 2017, I think, or
Yeah,
2019.
that was way long ago. Dune is out because it's a movie.
2018.
One word title.
I was thinking Tenant for a little bit there, but that's not part of a franchise.
We gotta narrow down this.
Wait,
franchise
it doesn't
thing.
take place on Earth. I forgot about that.
Yeah, does not take place on Earth. It's a sci-fi movie, part of a franchise. It's an adaptation from something else. 2020 or newer. It's not. There's no sequel. It's not based on a book. He saw it in theaters. It's a sci-fi movie and sci-fi movie elements. It's not based on a comic. Not a male lead. Not a kids movie, and it's live action.
And he saw it in theater.
And you saw it in theaters. Trying to think of one word movies that came out.
I know that's where I'm losing. Like I feel like I can think of quite a few that are lots of. Doesn't take place. That's what's throwing me off here. How many are we at?
15. So you got 4 and a guess. There's still a lot of things you could
This
ask.
next question is 15. Yeah.
Oh, I had you down at 15.
Okay.
Maybe I give you.
I got this next question will be 15.
Okay, that's fine.
Or are you counting the hint as a question?
I was, but
Oh.
I won't give it. That's fine.
Go ahead then.
Okay.
I'll give you 5 and a guess left.
The sci-fi is kind of throwing me off. We know
was
it's
gonna
not
ask-
Valerian.
Is there a notable twist in the movie?
I don't like that. You're not counting the word "the," are you? In like a
Nope.
okay.
Man, yeah, I'm lost here. Sci-fi movie, but it's not part of it's part of a franchise. It's an adaptation, but there's no book. It has to be a comic then.
He said it's not based on a comic.
Not based on a comic. Right there.
Yep. So you might.
What are the other adaptations? We have to ask if it's a TV show then or something like that.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Think about what else there could be. It's not a book. It's not based on a comic book. It's not based on a. Maybe we ask if it's a remake, or if or.
Yeah, actually, I think remake could be fine.
But then, how many questions do we have? 4.
You'd have 4 and
4.
a guess.
Go ahead.
Is it a remake?
No.
Not a remake.
4 and a guess.
Star-studded cast from that one. That's just throwing me off. They're all throwing me off.
I cooked.
I also kind of wanted to say like Chappie or something. Does Chappie take place on Earth?
One for the good guys this time, maybe.
I don't know what he watched in theaters.
I think there's 2 different things that you could ask that would get you to the answer. Probably.
And it is live action.
What the fuck has come out since 2020 that's got one word title?
I think we ask if it's a Disney property.
Is it a Disney movie?
It is not. 3 left.
Okay.
I guess if it's like a space movie. Guess we kind of can assume maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it doesn't take place on Earth, it would have to be some kind of space themed something or other, right?
Another planet.
We're at 3 and a guess.
Should we ask if it did well in theaters?
Yeah. Actually, when I ask if it was considered a flop or not, because what does well mean?
How many questions?
You have 3 and a guess left.
Okay. Go ahead. That's fine. You just ask if it.
Was it considered a flop?
Yes. 2 left. And a guess.
I don't know.
Quit just searching movies, you cheater.
You did it last week.
Yeah, but yours was like done that Zach. I had never even heard of the movie. This
Yes,
you
you
guys, I
had.
promise, have heard of. Promise
I
you
don't
have.
know.
You still have yet to figure out why it's a franchise.
Yeah.
That might help you.
Well, I'm not even really looking just randomly for like. That's one because I.
Let me ask this. Do you want me to ask if it was off a TV show?
Yeah, sure.
Did it come from a TV show?
No.
Not a TV show. What the fuck did it come from then?
1 and a guess. Or you can give up if you feel like you need to. Or if you want to. No, I don't know that would help you that much. Never mind. Just another review, just because it's funny while you guys are looking.
Okay.
Awful stuff is the full review of this movie from one person. Here's another one. Blank is devoid of curiosity, empathy, and humility. Here's another one. It might work for blank as a blank, but doesn't work for moviegoers as a movie.
Blank is a blank.
Yep. Another one. Mediocre. Disappointing and difficult to understand. One of the positive reviews. Blank is not a good movie, but it is a prime example of how intelligently non-intelligent life existed and exists in unintelligent science fiction, where the misses are more interesting than the occasional hits. That was a positive review of this movie.
Read that first one again.
I gotta find it again.
How many questions do we have?
You have one question left.
Does it? Oh, we have one question.
One question and guess.
Okay. All right. Can I ask you a question? Because I don't think you got anything.
1 second. Did we already talk about like Onward and shit?
It's not it's live action.
Oh, that's right.
I want to ask, does it take place on a spaceship? Because what's coming to mind is like going to colonize a planet movies. I'm thinking, I don't know what it's called. Like the Voyage or something. I don't fucking know. Or Voyagers, maybe?
Wait a second.
Another review. Why did anyone think this would work?
Did he go see the Barbie movie in theaters?
Not like that. Yeah, but that takes place on Earth.
I mean, does it?
Yeah. Did you see the movie?
No, I never saw the movie.
It takes place on Earth.
I know, but is it is it real?
It takes place on Earth.
Okay. What's our last question? We have one more question left. Do we want to ask if the movie was based off of a toy? An action figure, a toy?
No.
Okay, well, it's a one-word title. It came out in 2023.
Can you text me the list? I want to look at that list
Of what?
that you have of our questions.
Let's see here. Douchebag.
Sorry, I've been pissy all day, and he's making me more pissy.
Who?
Me?
You.
Me?
What the hell did I do?
Him.
Oh, okay.
What did I do?
Also you about the Lord of the Rings thing.
Just because it's a bad.
Just because I don't love the thing that you love doesn't mean anything.
You do the same thing to me.
No, I don't.
Oh,
When?
you don't like fish.
Okay. Does not take place on Earth. I wouldn't consider the Barbie movie to take place. It takes place in a fictional fucking whatever the fuck, right? It's sci-fi.
It literally takes place on Earth. I'm telling you. I've seen the movie.
What city does it take place in then?
It doesn't take. Oh, we're not asking. It's not Barbie.
It's an adaptation. It's a one-word title.
Fine.
Seems
Ask if
noodle.
it's a toy then. Ask if it's
No
a toy.
sequel. It's not based on a book. You saw it in theaters. Sci-fi elements. It's not based on a comic. Not a male role. Not a male lead. Not a kids movie. It's live action. It's not a remake.
Fine. Ask him.
Star-studded
Ask him.
cast.
If
Who
he,
can wait?
If
Is
he says
Disney?
it takes place,
Did Disney make this?
no.
No.
If he said it'd be
One of the worst blank in recent memory.
Barbie was a massive success and people loved it.
Come back, Madam Web. All is forgiven. That's another review.
Was this movie based off of a toy?
No.
God damn it!
I literally told you right there not to ask.
It was also Barbie was.
You just said ask it.
Barbie was super well received.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, considered a flop.
Yeah. Okay, you're at your guess, or you
No.
can give up.
I think we have to say Voyagers. That's the only thing I can think of.
What's it called?
Voyagers. I think it was a flop.
What was that one movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence?
That was older than.
Passengers?
Yeah, but that was older.
2016. All right. Voyagers.
Final guess?
Sci-fi 2021. He's so excited about this.
I don't think it's Voyagers, but I don't know what else. Go ahead. That's fine.
Wicked? No, huge success.
Massive.
Also book.
Also a book.
Also Earth, technically.
Is it? I can't ask anymore.
All right, guys. Can we count down from 15?
I got nothing.
I don't know. Can I guess something then?
Sure.
Moonfall.
No, and I will read you out the things until you can tell me what the movie is, because this should be gettable. Was PG-13.
Okay.
Was an hour and 42-minute runtime. It is considered a sci-fi action adventure comedy. It was in theaters from August 9th, 2024 and it started streaming on August 30th, 2024. It is from Gearbox Studios, Lionsgate, and 2K Games.
2K Games, is that Space Jam?
Was a video game adaptation.
Uncharted?
You were looking for Borderlands.
Ah,
Oh,
I almost
no
said that.
shit.
You saw that in theaters?
Yeah, Jenny and I went and saw it.
I thought you just watched at home.
No, Jenny and I went to the theater opening weekend.
Borderlands, yeah, that was a dog shit movie.
Yikes.
Borderlands, one of the worst movies
Well,
I've ever seen.
I never saw it.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't watch it.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It was a long one this week, but we got some good stuff.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on all the things, the socials, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the YouTubes.
X, where you are the
X,
news.
all the things. See ya.
We'll see you next week. Bye.